Well, that was a little bit, wasn't it, eh? I mean, I don't think we really deserved it. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But Tottenham, England sneaked through. We sneaked through. Get past the DR Congo. Cue 1,000 Tottenham fans telling us to sign the goalkeeper and the left wing. Simbemba, is it? Or something like that? Simbemba? I think he's 28 years old, plays for some team in La Liga 2, I think. Brian Simpenga, that's his name. Plays for who's he play for? Plays for Almira. Plays for Almira in the 2nd division. Yeah, go and sign him. Much better than Mathys Tel. We fucking did it though, guys. We got through. Harry Kane gets us through. And you know what happens when you get a little bit lucky? You dial in specifically to a 7:30 show at 7:16, and I saw you calling me out for being 30 seconds late, Drew. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. All right? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Anyway. Bombers! Keep an eye out for the bombers, people. You know what happens when Butler goes live? Bombers drop. They tend to drop. And I've got a sneaking suspicion we're going to get a here we go from it tonight if we stay live long enough. Should just put a 24-hour. Go and get me some Adderall. Go and get me a little bit of the old Shizzle McNizzle or whatever, and we'll just put an all-night bender. You know, just keep going until we get that bomber. Jaws, they will be swinging like prime Mike Tyson. What's crack-a-lacking, people? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. How are you? I hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things you love. Do let me know if my camera is better, because no one told me until an hour into the show yesterday that my camera was fuzzy and, 180p or whatever. And it looked awful. So, yeah. It is what it is, though. So let me know if the camera's working a little bit better tonight. How's everybody doing? Please do smash the granny out of the like button if you don't mind. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped, people. They should be dropped thick and fast. Let me know your thoughts on all of your thoughts. And listen, we're going to talk about it. We're losing Vusko. 50 million quid or 45 plus 5, 46 plus 4, is it? Something like that. Plus we get 20% add-on or 20% sell-on fee. Yeah, 20% sell-on fee. Plus we get match the bidder rules. But this geezer doesn't want to be at Tottenham, does he? He never wants to be at Tottenham. I've changed my mind on this one quite gone 180. I was pretty adamant that I think it was silly to sell him when the news first broke. When we were back last 2 weeks ago, when we were trying to get hold of Van Hecker, I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But, I think over time I realized that he's a bit of a bozo, I think. I don't think he's inconsistent with his applications of logic. You know what's inconsistent with my applications of logic? Where the granny is my bottle opener. Can't find it, so I'm going to have to use this, because my cider's looking particularly empty at the moment. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I need you lot to keep an eye out. One eye on me, one eye on Twitter. The bombers, they shall be dropping. Flip-flop Butler. Kate's in the house, is she? She's back from her family trip to wind me up. In fact, let me give her the chance. Let me give her the chance to come on and be a donut. Let me see if she's around for being a donut. There you go, Kate. You can come on. Jimbo's more than welcome as well. Listen, good things are going to happen tonight. I've just got a feeling. It's going to be tonight or tomorrow. I think that it's going to be 100 million quid. We've got some things to look at. We've got some stories. We've also got some stories around Croupy Jr. What are we doing here, people? Ta-ta-ta! Ta-ta-ta! You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. If we get that geezer in, if Tottenham do vis-a-vis ipso facto the following: Dubravka with Kinsky, left backs of Robertson and Udogie, centre-backs of Micky van der Ven, Van Hecker, Senesi, and Danso. Right-backs of Spence and Porro, although increasingly there's stories out that Jed Spence is going to leave. What do you think about Jed Spence's performance today? He wasn't great, was he? And old Tommy Tuchel does like to single him out for some absolute berating. He's always on camera screaming at Spence. And Spence is like, just doesn't like it. He doesn't turn and go, yes, sir, no, sir. 3 bags full, sir. He just fucking walks off. But anyway, Spence and Porro. And then the midfield combos of we're going to have Fernandes on the right side, Tonali on the left side of the double pivot, with backups of potentially Archie Gray, although stories today out around a bid. They have been denied by both Newcastle and Tottenham, that Newcastle put in a bid for Archie Gray, and Archie Gray and Tottenham said no bueno. Apparently, it was just a name that was mentioned during passing, i.e., whilst we're discussing Tonali, what is your thoughts on Archie Gray? And he's not for sale. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there isn't. You never know. You never know, do you? But Archie Gray and Bentancur behind those two, with Sarr leaving, Berghvall probably leaving. Although, again, rumours are now out that Berghvall's not leaving, that we've turned down a bid and he's not for sale. So who knows what's going on? But I would imagine that we've got too many midfielders, really. So you have those 4. Then you can have Conor Gallagher that can step in there if necessary, when he wanted to. I know we had this conversation the other day on the live stream. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Around is Conor Gallagher a backup to James Maddison? Well, I think Conor Gallagher will be used as a backup to Maddison if we don't improve in the 10 spot. And assuming James Maddison starts, if he gets injured or has a niggle, then Conor Gallagher will play that 10 role. But for me, I personally think Conor Gallagher is more of an 8 than he is a 10. I don't think he has the speed of footwork. I think he's a grafter and a grifter, and not a grifter, a grafter. And I don't personally think it would work in a deserving ball to play him in a 10 too often, like a specific 10, like a Xavi Simons type of 10. I don't think so. Anyway, and then you have James Maddison, you have Xavi Simons, you have Conor Gallagher for those 3 spots at the moment. And then if you have off the left wing somebody of the ilk of Abdi El-Zalzouli, Marcus Rashford, or a Cody Gakpo. We spoke about him yesterday. The stats look great for him. Obviously, Said El-Mala is a good player. I don't think he's great as like Johnny worships him. I'm not that convinced. I think he's good, but not sensational. Not yet, at least. Lots of players out there, though, in the left wing spot. And if we do bring in someone that can play in that 10 and also hang off the right-hand side, like potentially a Morgan Gibbs-White, and then in the 9, if you go and get me a Krupi Jr., what are we doing here? Like, you have to then have genuine conversations around, well, who has a stronger depth defence in the Premier League than Tottenham at the moment? Maybe Arsenal. Arsenal do. Arsenal have a better defence than Tottenham. Man United don't. Chelsea don't. Liverpool, we'll see how it ends up. But at the moment, I'd say no. At the moment, I'd say no. So then you sit there and go, okay, well, who's got a better midfield? Well, there's lots of teams that have a better midfield, but we have remarkably improved our midfield if we bring in both Tonali and Fernandes. And we have depth, right? Bentancur isn't a terrible player. I don't rate him as much as some people do, but I will give him the credit where he deserves, that he's very good in that. He's very good in the final 5 or 6 games. And if he can get back to full fitness, if he can get back to a position where he's something like the player that when he first came over from Juve, then, good in rotation. And then obviously Archie Gray, we don't know what we're going to have with him. But maybe, I think that our midfield 4 looks incredibly better. Krupi Jr. as a starting number 9, and Solanke behind him. And then Will Lancashire as the third option to give him minutes where necessary. Absolutely sensational. Krupi Jr. I mean, he'll cost 100 million quid, right? But it looks like we're throwing around 100 million quid like they're going out of fashion. What are we doing here? And I reckon that we're not going to pay quite 100 million quid for Sandro Tonali. If Tottenham do break their wage structure 3 times, break their transfer record 3 times in the same season, in the same summer, I mean, You know what? I'm going to have a Daniel Levy parade. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, for preparing us. It's been a long, hard slug. It's been a real trek, you know. It's been a real... Oh, look, there she is. She's coming in to be the donuts arrived. Donuts are arriving. How are you doing, Kate? Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm good, thank you. Very good.
How was your trip? How was your trip?
It was nice. A bit too much vodka was consumed, but apart from that, it was good. That was by me, by the way, not by Jimbo, by me. But no,
too much vodka.
Well, for me, yeah, I'm a bit of a wuss.
I've never heard and taken seriously someone who puts the word too much and vodka in the same sentence. Well, I often hear not enough. Not enough. It's fine, but too much? What are we doing?
Yeah, too much in this heat because, like, I woke up at 5 o'clock because it was so hot, and then my head was thumping. And I was like, "Oh, this is the worst day ever." But no, it was a lovely weekend. Thank you.
The only way you get over that is to start again. This is why
I did.
Oh, you did, yeah. That's the problem that I sit in. Like, I've kind of obviously people think of me as like a raging alcoholic, and I probably am. At least I'm a functioning one. But I used to like get all my work done first, like with all the other businesses and that, and then once that was done, then I'd sort of go live, have a couple of beers, whatever time that was, because it was a start. It was like me going down the pub. But increasingly, as you get older, the only way to get over a hangover is to start drinking again. I used to be able to brush it off. And so if I go to bed late drunk after doing this and I wake up the next day, I'm drinking earlier and earlier. It's really, really scary. I've got a problem. I think I need to figure it out, you know, or just push through, you know, own it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen very often. So, but yeah, it was lovely. Thank you. Very hot.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Listen, are we expecting bombers tonight? Listen, I've got a feeling that they waited patiently for the England game to finish. Then they was like, what? Then Ornstein and Romano and Sizzy, they take a look and go, is Butler going live? Butler is going live. Okay, so once Butler's gone live, then we'll get round to it, right? It's the process. So everyone needs to keep an eye out. Do you think we're going to get something tonight? And is it going to be Tonali?
I do, actually. We got the bomber about Vuskovic while we were live. So I was quickly changing the thumbnail, changing the headline, you know, as if it was all planned. But I said to Jim, I've got a feeling it might be today because the fan base is a bit split about the whole Vuskovic thing. So if it's like, yeah, Vuskovic has gone, but hey, we've signed Tonali, I think everyone will kind of forget the Vuskovic thing. So I think you could be right. I think there could be a bomber coming. Oh,
there's a bit of a bomber. There's a bit of a bomber.
Oh, what?
Bomber! Wow! Bomber! Wow! It's not like it's a sort of tier 2 bomber. Tier 2 bomber. It's like a grenade rather than a bomber. But let's have a look. It's from Krish. Krish, is he bomber level? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He waited until Butler went live. We appreciate him. He literally did. Look, 14 minutes ago, and I've been live for 15 minutes. So, Tottenham Hotspur have made official inquiries for Martin Bacciarina in the last few days. He is admired internally. Is it on the screen?
Yes.
Martin Bacciarina has received positive reports from Tottenham Hotspur's scouting department, with Spurs making initial contacts to understand the conditions of a potential deal. Como are not currently interested in selling Bacciarina and are demanding a package worth around 80 million euros before entering negotiations. The Italian club have already rejected offers worth around 50 for him, making their stance very clear ahead of the summer transfer window. Bayern Munich also made inquiries for Bacciarina before completing the signing of Ismail Saibari. What a player he is. While Aston Villa and Juve continue to monitor the situation. Tottenham Hotspur are not willing to meet Como's current valuation at this stage, with only initial inquiries made and nothing advanced or agreed. One to watch. Do you know much about Martin Bacciarina? He's a very, very good player. Really, really cool. He's more touches in the box than anybody. He's lovely. Go on. Sorry, Kate.
I only know he's an attacking midfielder. That's all I really know. And he's Croatian, right? I think.
Yeah, Croatian.
It's more like a booby than a bomber, I would say, this one, because it's a bit like Primark version of a bomber. So we'll call it a booger. But look, we seem to be linked with everyone. And normally I'd go, well, it'll never happen. But this window, who knows? We're just throwing money around. We're like that, making it rain everywhere. So
yeah, I'm not sure I believe this one purely because it says Tottenham are currently not willing to meet Como's current valuation. That's not what we do here anymore. Whatever someone wants, we end up paying it. That's what we do with West Ham. That's what we're going to do with Newcastle. It will be what we do with Bournemouth's Krupi Jr. if we get him as well. No, there's not. There's not a bomber. There's a bomber. Ah, bomber! You know, better be lying. Ornstein.
Oh my God!
The bomber's drop. Come on!
We've got it. Tonali is done.
It's done. It's absolutely done out here.
Wow.
It's not fake. They're not fake. They're not fake, Scotty. They're not fake. We got the bombers.
We do.
Wow. Come on. What does it say? What does it say? Tottenham Hotspur reached agreement with Newcastle United to sign Sandro Tonali. Deal for 26-year-old Italy international to join Tottenham from Newcastle. 92. Who's that? Is that Jimbo?
That's Jimbo.
Get him on. 92.5 plus 7.5. 100 million. Tottenham have breached the £100 million barrier. Wow, we're a part of the 100 mil club. Come on now. Based around multiple Champions League qualification. Well, don't worry about that. We're always in the Champions League. Listen, Kate, before we get into the player, can everyone just please take a second to realise you have to be watching Butler when Butler goes live because bombers drop. I told you, they wait until after the England game, then they check when Butler's going live, and then they say, okay, it's now time to post. It happens every time.
They held on until Kate came on as well. And then they dropped the bomb.
Wowzers.
Unbelievable scenes. Wow. This must be what it be like for like teams like Man City every window, because you know this is a feeling that I'm surely not used to, but it's a good one. Unbelievable scenes.
Unbelievable. I'm so excited. I'm so bloody excited about this one. I just got to change my thumbnail super quick. I already planned. I already downloaded the Here We Go thumbnail just in case it dropped, and it has, so I can just do a quick swapsy. So anyone that's watching, you can go back and just refresh it. It will be the Here We Go one. Kate, how amazing is this? 200 million quid, babe, or 185 million quid on two midfielders. Tottenham moving mental.
We're going to win the lot. We're going to win the lot. Look, it's what can we say? It's a long time coming. Unbelievable. As someone just said there, I'm 32 and this is the best window I've ever seen. I'm 48 and it's the best window I've seen probably ever as well. So it just shows real intent from Spurs. They're behaving like a big club, which is all we've ever wanted them to do. And yeah, I did say there may be gushing if we sign Tonali as well, and I can definitely feel a little bit of gushing coming on. It's very, very exciting, and I'm kind of in one of them places now where I just want the World Cup to finish, and I just want Tottenham to start playing because, you know, this is a proper rebuild. When you start signing superstars like this, I'm so excited. This is, you know I said I wanted Fernandes the most, but you know how much I love Tonali as well, surely. So to get both is frigging unbelievable. I don't really know what to say. I'm a little bit dumbstruck by it all.
It's a lot of money, though, isn't it? £100 million, Kate. It's a lot of money for old Tonali, isn't it?
To be fair, though, he's probably worth 100 million to us. So in the same way that Fernandes is worth 85 million to us. So, you know, Man United fans are going, oh, it was too much. Well, they're going to probably have to pay that for Belieber or for Alex Scott. So, you know, it was necessary. So, yeah, everyone's gushing in the chat. We love to gush. This is a good gushing experience.
Dirty little get. It's going to be a fun time around Kate's house tonight.
Buckle up, Jimbo. Buckle up, son.
Buckle up, Jimbo. Buckle up, bro. Matt, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. Obviously England just get through, and then you get the bomber, and you're sort of looking at our team now, the way it's shaping up, mate. I'm ready for the World Cup to end and ready for Spurs to come back with all these news. I just like the way the club is finally acting, and I think like you said, Sean, maybe nearly getting relegated was the wake up call we seriously needed, and not it's not like the season before where we were 12 points clear and not even close to getting relegated, like seriously close. And I've probably given the club probably a lot of stick, with the owners and things like that, but I'm man enough to hold the hands up and go, do you know what, fair bloody play, because they're really backing this manager. And I mean, you look at our midfield now. I mean, I'm in the blend of it. Fernandes, Tonali, and Maddison in the 10. I mean, flipping out. I mean, that's it's not far off being up there with one of the best midfields in the league, is it? When you look at the quality and and what they all give something a bit different. We just need the attack now.
Yeah, and we'll come to that, because there's if there's truth that Tottenham really are going to make a move, and it's coming from Sizzy. And Sizzy, by the way, in the ITK wars, I know I see Krish on this one here trying to claim. Is it still on the screen? Let me bring it up. Sizzy say, "Oh, here he goes. You heard it here first." This guy's a shameless, trying to absolutely shameless. But whatever. In the ITK wars, though, I got to be honest. I don't know any of them. Obviously, I have a little bit of history with old Paul O'Keefe, blocking me for over a year, then claimed he didn't even know who I was, and then he unblocked me just so I could block him. Yeah, that's how you like it. That's how it goes on. But he and Sizzy have been going back and forth at each other with Spurs Journo as well. Paul O'Keefe's on a double L at the moment. He's had a couple of L's in terms of claiming things weren't advanced, nothing was advanced when actually they were. Sizzy's replaced O'Keefe at the top of the invisible faces of ITKs. And he's saying that Krupi Jr. is real. I mean, we'll come to it. Oh, what's happened there? Where did Matt go? He's disappeared. There he is. Eugenie, how are you, mate? Welcome back to the channel. How you feeling?
Man, I told myself I'm not gonna come on because I've been on for too often. Everybody's sick of me, but I'm in shock.
No, everyone loves you.
I'm honestly, just having one signing like this would be a huge deal for us. But signing Fernandes and Tonali, I swear, I'm in shock. I'm speechless. Even though this was coming, I knew it probably is going to happen. But seeing the Bomba, unbelievable. It's an alternate universe. I do not recognize this club, and it's a great feeling. It's a weird feeling. I don't know how to feel. I feel numb, and start the season tomorrow. I am pumped, especially after seeing Van Hecke play as well. I'm getting a shirt with Van Hecke, and now Tonali and Fernandes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I wish OK Jersey would hurry up and get their bloody shirts on the website.
I'm telling you.
They're donuts. They're missing out on so much opportunity. I don't know what they're up to. I'll tell you what I'm up to tonight, though, and it's gonna be a little bit of personal time. I never thought I'd be doing that when you get bombers dropping. Usually you separate the two, but it's exciting. Jimbo, how excited are you, mate? Your missus is gushing. Are you rock fucking solid?
Do you know what? I was just going to put Pornhub on, and then you said, come on, so I turned it off. and do you know what? Do you know what, Sean? I just checked my bank account, and they haven't took any money, so I haven't paid anything towards it, so I'm really fucking happy.
Yeah, there you go, mate. There you go. So our midfield is transformed, right? I think people make the argument. I think it's a decent argument last season around what is the worst part of our team, right? Our midfield, our lack of creativity from the midfield, our lack of passing from the midfield section, but obviously at the top end of the pitch as well, just a lot of huffing and puffing, but no blowing anyone's doors down. We fixed one major area now with those two in the midfield. If they can stay fit and they can connect and have a good relationship, and they can kind of yin and yang off each other, where one is weak, the other is strong. Where the other is weak, the other is strong, and so. dare I say it though, what have you done for me lately? Let's move on to the next. We've got to like, midfield's done now. Bored of talking about Tonali. We can move on to Krupi Jr. for the next 24, 48 hours. I mean, how let's talk about it for a second. How stacked do you think we are in the midfield compared to other teams right now? Is that midfield one of the best? Have we gone from one of the worst to one of the best in the Premier League in the last 24, 48 hours?
Without any doubt. Without any doubt. I mean, it's just, I'm actually in shock, Sean, that we've gone and done this. I cannot believe, right? I've supported Spurs 55 years, I've been watching them, and I cannot believe the Spurs have gone and just dropped all this money, like in a matter of weeks. The window's just opened, and look where we are. It's unbelievable.
Serious ambition, like serious ambition, seriously impressive. Well, just like a changing of the tide in terms of, like, if Daniel Levy, I'm not going to spend all night talking about him again. No, we spoke about him too much last night, to be honest. But if Daniel Levy was still here, like, for me, I think you have to give him, like, putting 2, 3, 5 billion quid into the football club doesn't mean you can spend it, right? If you haven't been, like, sort of frugal and built the commercial revenue, all that stuff. So I think you have to give credit where it's due to the guy that built the foundations of the ability for us to do what we're doing now. He's not around to be the participant in it. And obviously you can have your own opinions on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But ultimately, I think probably if Daniel Levy was here right now, we wouldn't be sat on July the 1st with Tonali and Fernandez and the other 4 or 5 players in. I think that they'd be dragged out because one of his major limitations was his negotiation style. Would you agree, Jimbo?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Sean, right, this club is probably in the top 10 in the world for making money, right? We should be doing this. If you want to be a serious football club, we haven't been a football club for a lot of years now. We've been an entertainment centre. So they should be doing this. We're a football club, and we are a massive club. I know we get the piss taken out of us, but before Enoch come in, we was one of the biggest clubs in England. And we just went down rapidly. But this is what they should be spending, this type of money, the revenue we're getting. So they're doing what they should be doing.
Yeah, are we? How much more do you reckon we've got to spend this summer? We've got at least 2. Well, guaranteed 2 more players or 2 more positions we need to improve. But you could make an argument for 3.
I think there'll be more sales. There'll be more sales as well, won't there? Looking at the sort of Vuskovic going on. In the end, I think it's looking like an all right deal. And I mean, I live in Brighton, so I get a lot of Brighton fans giving us Spurs fans a bit of stick, saying you've been Tony Bloomed and all this rubbish. And I go, well, hang on a minute, you're giving us 50 mil. We basically took Van Ecke for 4 million for a proper Premier League player. We've got 20% sell-on clause, and we can buy him back if someone wants to buy him from Brighton. We can match it.
Yeah, so it's almost identical deals, right? Because they've got 20% if we sell Van Ecke, and they've got 20%. We've got 20% if they sell Vuskovic. Let's quickly pivot to that. Let's pivot to that for a second. Big up to you, Adam, as well, for joining, mate. I'll come to you first, Adam. I'll get your take on Tonali in a second, but since we've gone into this conversation about Vuskovic just briefly, are we in a situation, Adam, where, like, do you think 50 million quid for Vuskovic is, or simplify it, swapping Vuskovic essentially for Van Ecke, is that good business?
I think that first of all, what you said in the group earlier on rings true. You can look at it either way. You can look at it in the sense that we paid 50 million for someone who had a year left on their contract, and that's an overspend. We're letting a potential talent away for less money than what he could be worth in the future. The other way of looking at it is we paid 50 million for the best ball playing defender in the league, and we're letting go of a kid who hasn't really proved it in the Premier League yet. You can look at it either way. The way I look at it is, who are we backing? I back De Zerbi. If De Zerbi has said Vuskovic is not in his plans, okay, fine. It shocked me. It absolutely shocked me, considering the thing we are concerned about is he's not particularly quick, but he's an incredibly good stopper. But also, like, going up front, the guy splashes goals away as well. So I'm surprised he's not part of the future plans. But if De Zerbi is like, look, we need money to build the team that I want for right now. So if Vuskovic has to go, he has to go. If Van Heck is the guy that's going to revitalize the team today, I think that swapping them directly, 50 mil, same deal, whatever. I'm totally fine with that because I'm on Team De Zerbi. I think that we've given him the keys to the kingdom. And can I just one of the things I really wanted to say was, Sean, what you were said there about just because the club has been given the finances, it doesn't mean that they're able to spend it. The other side of that, the other angle on that is we could have crazy money, we could have billions, but if the players don't want to come to the club, then what difference does it make? But we've gone out and very early in the window said we want Tonali and Fernandes. And that's been it's been over a month now since we've been saying that, right? The ITKs have been like, Tottenham are saying it's not one or the other, it's both. And the other clubs, basically Man United went, yeah, whatever. It's Tottenham, whatever. We're going to go get our Fernandes, who's dying to play for United. And then, City are going in for Tonali, possibly Arsenal, having a kind of a glance in there as well. But we said early that's what we're doing, and we did it. What does that mean?
I think that's such an important point, right?
Huge.
People will spin this. People that are rival fans or journalists looking for a story, whoever, will do their best to make out like we only got them because those other teams didn't want them. And I don't necessarily buy that. I think that the De Zerbi factor is a huge pull. I think the fact that Tottenham have clearly shown a change of it's a paradigm shift to how we traditionally do business. And we're paying salaries, which is important, massively important. We're paying far more to players like Tonali. I'm not saying that Tottenham can go out and go and get an Osimhen or one of the world's best, the top tier sort of players. But Tonali isn't in that category. He's just in the step below. Fernandes isn't there yet. But, what we have shown is that we are able to compete with the big boys. And maybe there was genuine, sincere interest from City, but they weren't willing to pay the money. But the fact that Tottenham are, they've noted the problems that exist at Tottenham, exist in the Premier League, that actually a big football club is not immune to the prospect of the jeopardy of relegation. They don't want to see that happen again. They have to move the needle. The needle can be moved because of the sort of financial powerhouse that we are, plus some extra money in the kitty and a compelling sales pitch from De Zerbi or whoever it is that's picking the phone up to these agents and players. And the most important criteria is that we have the domino is continuing to fall. It's probably a lot easier now to pick up the phone and convince Krupi, for example, to come here because he knows, well, look what's happened before I've had that phone call. Whereas had Tonali fucked off to Arsenal, had Fernandes gone to Manchester United or whatever else, the story kind of falls apart a little bit, but it hasn't. It's continuing. The momentum is so important in everything in life. And
we asked Bournemouth to take Solanke back, and we'll take Krupi. Just ask them to do a swap, give them a few million on top of it. Do you know what I find remarkable though? I would love to know all the people who are like, no more kids. Krupi's 18. Right. No more kids.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's some.
You take Yan Diamandi and you would take Krupi Jr. in a heartbeat, but the no more kids thing is it's a moment in time. It's just a phrase when people don't want unproven talent.
Clearly depends on the kid, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I think it depends on. There's kids who are unbelievable, and then there's ones who just come out of the blue, like Vuskovic, and then obviously got Berghvall when he was coming around. But there's a difference between players like Nusa and Diamande, who are even doing it on the world stage at the moment. So that, that's a kid who you can see has got the proper talent to go. He's a kid, but he's going to take us to the next level.
Yeah, and as I was saying in the chat, big teams, Madrid, when they sell a youngster, they add a buyback clause every time. For Vuskovic, for me, that's a deal breaker because I wasn't sure about the deal, but when I saw that the buyback clause was there, it's a no-risk deal. We're getting the money right now to fund our transfers.
It's not just
blows up, get him back.
It's not a buyback deal, Eugene. It's just that.
Well, it's a match.
Yeah, we if someone else picks up the phone to them and says we'll pay you 100 million quid, then it's a match.
When I've seen him play when I've seen him play for Croatia, I haven't been that impressed, to be honest. I mean, he got dropped after the England game. They put him on the bench. So he's not very good at playing out from the back. He's quite slow in a high line. Obviously, I know Brighton quite well because my partner is a season ticket holder. If they're going to play a high line with Vuskovic at the back and Dunk, they could be in serious trouble. But I think they'll go to a 3 at the back and try and be a bit more defensive and be a bit more solid. That's what I would do. But
it's just come on Sky Sports, 92.5 million and 7.5 million with add-ons for Tonali.
And the wages? Are the wages there? Or?
275 grand a week, and the agency gets 10% of the fee, like on top, right? So it's 100 million plus, or it's 92.5, but the agency will get another 9.25 million. So we're actually spending 110 million on the player, and giving him 275 grand a week, which is close to about 14 million quid a year. Listen, I'm all for it. Right? I'm not poo-pooing on any of this new. I'm just playing devil's advocate with you guys. And Will, I'll bring you in. Great to see you. We haven't seen you for ages, mate. I hope we'll find out in a second how you're doing. I'm not poo-pooing any of it, but like just paying the money, that is also a short-lived recipe for, like, it can be a recipe for disaster, right? Like people, I know it's not our money, so we shouldn't care, but if you always just pick up the phone and say, well, what is it you want for your player? That secret gets out pretty quick, right? Bournemouth will be able to sit there and go, they haven't really negotiated with Newcastle. They've just paid whatever Newcastle wanted. They haven't really negotiated with West Ham. They didn't really negotiate that hard with Brighton, obviously. They ended up paying a lot of money for all these players because Tottenham are in a position where they have to because of the mistakes of what's happened in the past. But if you now want Groupie, do you don't think Bournemouth, Bill Foley, I mean, he's an absolute master of value. You don't think he's going to sit there and go, yeah, my number's 120 million quid. And whether Tottenham pay it or otherwise, but it is getting a little bit insane, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Will?
Yeah, I think this transfer market has gone absolutely mental in terms of pricing and player wages and everything. It might be because we've finally woken up and decided to spend a load of money when we haven't in the past. But I think what we are doing is trying to build a squad that if we do end up buying, let's say like next year we buy a couple of kids, they're going to have proven players in front of them that can actually mentor them in training, which I think is a big thing that we didn't have. We didn't have the mentor type of players that actually could perform on the pitch, showing the youngsters what to do, which I think is why some of the youngsters just haven't improved as much as a lot of fans thought they would.
I don't know why we worry so much about the money thing, though. Like, let's say, like, what if Enoch put in, we were planning on spending 300 million of their own money, and then they were planning to, like, we could spend up to 400, as far as I know, before we break in. There's any breaches on our end because we've been so savvy with money up to this point. If we could spend 500 million, it's possible that they decide they're spending 300 of their own money, then recouping 200 from player sales, and they're going to spend 500. Like, why are we worrying about the money? As long as they're going out for the kind of players that we want, we don't know what they've got in the coffers, and let them have at it.
Not worried about it, Adam. It's like, I'm not saying we shouldn't be spending it because it's not, like that's somehow a problem for us. But I'm just saying that you've got there has to be some sort of prudence. So we're out of the frying pan. We've gone like from sort of one extreme to the other very quickly. And if you look at other teams that went down that path of paying whatever was asked, paying the money, most of those teams are now not in a position to be able to do that. Which Tottenham benefiting. Man United's a perfect example. Chelsea are a very good example. I mean, if it works and you're consistently in the Champions League and everything turns out and you win a couple of tries and it kicks on, all that stuff, fine. I'm just playing the other side of putting out the other side of the argument. But it doesn't mean that you can do it again next year, for example. Like, you won't be able to spend 300 million quid next year.
No, but
if you spend it all this year, then it has to be right. You have to get it right.
Yeah,
sure, but you'll be able to spend decent money next year. You won't be able to spend the same money again, but you'll be able to spend something, And if we're building a team, surely you with Fernandes, Tonali, let's say it's Groupie as well. The back line that we've got, like, they're all proven to the point where it's not going to be like a Man United who went out and bought an Anthony and it was the stupidest thing they ever did and spent mad money. So they made foolish decisions. That's Man United, right? Chelsea, then it's not the same thing, because with Chelsea, they were already in the shit because of financial misdeeds before the Americans even showed up. Then the Americans showed up. who didn't even know that you don't automatically qualify for the Champions League, and then they're seriously like this, how dumb they are. And then they're giving people 9-year contracts, and now they're saddled with a bunch of crap as well. Like, they were really, really bad decisions. It wasn't that they spent money; it's that they spent money poorly.
But Adam, what kills you is not the fees; it's the wages, right? The fees, it's a sunk cost, and then if you sell the player, you can recoup it. The wages, if you pay high wages to average players, that's what kills you, right? In the past, that's what killed us as well with Ndombele, who we couldn't sell. But
they're not average players though. Like, you know, again, they brought.
Players, that's what I'm saying. Right now,
Man United brings in Anthony. Man United brought in Anthony for mad money, and he wasn't Prem proven, and he showed himself to be completely useless in the Prem. Tonali was Prem proven, incredible in the Italian league. Brought to Newcastle, not played in a team that he should ever have been in the first place because they're not a technical team; they're a brute force team. He comes to us. He's probably and he did well in Newcastle. You know, he played in a team that he shouldn't have been in and did well. He comes to us, like, it's a risk worth taking to give him 200 whatever grand a week when the chances are he is going to hit the ground running for us. You know what I mean? I think it's about just being savvy with the money, and I think so far it's been very, very clever.
What you got to remember as well, Sean, is at the minute Tottenham aren't the most attractive prospect. You know, we finished 17th 2 seasons in a row. So we are desperate, really. Whereas in the future, we've got a good squad. We can play we can be more hardball and sort of negotiate. But at the moment, we've got to sell them a project, and we've got to give them the money they want to get us back up to where we want to be.
You're right.
Can I just say? Can all of you on this screen fucking believe we've just spent 200 million on 2 players? It's fucking mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
It's about time.
Do it for a long time. It's just we haven't gone and done it. The only way we could attract big enough people is basically what Kate just said. We had to throw the money down and pay probably 20% extra because everyone knows we're desperate. Nobody can ever sit on here again and tell me money doesn't talk.
Jim, say it again. Say it again, Jim. Say it again for all those non-believers.
Hang on, guys. Just before we get, because there's a lot of people on here, so I just want to make sure we all speak one at a time and no over talking and stuff. There's a lot of super chats I want to catch up on just quickly, guys. Big up to, by the way, to Rain and to Danny for joining, and to Dan as well. Good to see both of you, all 3 of you. Thank you to Eugene for popping on as well. I think he's taken on for the team there and dropped off. He was going to get manic otherwise. JK, who?
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same, folks. I was on yesterday, so take a handy, guys.
Love you, Adam.
Cheers, Adam. To that, mate.
JK Who has put in a Singapore dollar. One big up to you, mate. Choo choo to you, bro. Choo choo to you. Thank you very much indeed. Whole Spurs has put in a £5 super sticker. That's very generous, mate. You get the choo choo to you noise. Choo choo to you. Thank you very much indeed. The super sticker train has well and truly commenced. If you're happy with what we're doing at Tottenham Hotspur, then consider putting in a super sticker. You know, not that I've got anything to do with it, but, you know, spread the love. I wouldn't mind a Vivian Lewis on here in the background, putting in a couple of cheeky super chats. You got that money to throw around, Viv? You know, the art collection's been sold. Send some Butler's way. You know what we're doing here. Big up to Whole Spurs. Thank you very much indeed. Shay Bryant said, "Big up, you handsome man." Who? Which one of us? Tonali, Tony, winger, see it, say it, sort it. Big up to you, Shay. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you are all well, happy and healthy, doing the things you love. Big up to you, bro. Ivan Toney, haven't seen anything from him at the World Cup, but I thought, to be honest, in the England game today, he was crying out to have him being brought on before Harry Kane stepped up and did what he does so well. Boxy Super Kev, with the super sticker from out of San Francisco. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much indeed, bro. Really appreciate you, buddy. Really do. Choo choo to you. 3-star Reds. Nottingham Forest fan says, Glasner, the new Forest gaffer. What a day. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about that because that is interesting. How many Nottingham Forest have had more managers in the last 12 months than I've had fucking hot dinners? And is that number 5? Number 5 for Forest, is it?
Yeah,
and
I think it is.
What did Pereira do? What did he do to get sacked? He kept them up. Fuck it, you're out. We'll bring Glasner in. That Marinakis fella. Big up to you, mate. Congratulations on it. It's a really interesting move, by the way. I think you'll do really well with him. Bourbon Buzzard saying Sean is now official Bomber mascot. 100%, bro. You know where to come when when it's transfer time. Transfer bombers happen. Big up to you, Bourbon. Thank you very much. Barry Bandana says, Bomber. Big up to you, Barry. Thank you very much indeed, my man. Really appreciate you. What a night to be a Tottenham fan. Totspur63 says, Harry Hotspur saved the day and a bomber. Pinch me. It's good times, mate. Good times. Good times. Big up to you, buddy. Swigsy says, when Butler goes live, bombers be dropping. Let's go. It seems to be going that direction, isn't it? Big up to you, Swigsy. Thank you very much. Keith Edwards says, how do you feel now, Man United? Yeah, has everybody officially gone over and sent the emojis to Mark Goldbridge? You know? I hope so. I think you were on a mission yesterday. You on a mission.
Only just saw that meltdown. Only just saw it about 15 minutes ago. It was quite amusing.
Yeah, Spurs OC says, I don't want to wake up. Yeah, it's a good week, isn't it? It's a good week. I think there's more to come, by the way. Big up to you, buddy. He's putting another one saying, need to ship Romero next. We'll talk about him. Remind me of that one of you in the chat. We've got to talk about Romero because there's just nothing going on in that story, is there at all? Big up to you, mate. DJ Riot says, Sean, is it done? Bugsy treats. It's done, mate. It's done. It's done. We're here. Big up to you. I'll get Bugsy something nice. Thank you very much. James119 says, has put a super sticker. Big up to you. Choo choo to you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much indeed. Bourbon Buzzer says, to dare is to do with ruddy gumption. The bloody gumption. 100%. Where was Hugo? Stephen D. Dyer DJ says, what is happening? I'm all for it. Big up to you, mate. Thank you for your loyalty. Also, for member for 8 months for Brent Spittle says, what is going on with us? I'm loving it. Come on, you Spurs. Mate, amazing time. Eugenie, who's just left, says, new winger and a striker, and the league is ours.
Yeah.
Should we be having a thus far conversation? For those of you that have been around this channel for the last 4 or 5 years, remember the thus far conversation that we had with Bob Spur and those guys back in the day? That was so funny. And Kuva, big up to you. SZ, big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for that super sticker as well. And also Andy Bays, big up to you, bro. Really, really appreciate you guys. Our last one just put in, SZ says, I forgot to say something. Have some USD for this. Ratatata. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you, bro. Like your cat as well. Very cool looking. It's a gorgeous looking cat. Big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Right, guys. Thank you for the super chat patience there. Appreciate all the support, as always. Where were we? I haven't got Danny's or Rain's takes on the Tonali deal. Let's start there, shall we? Rain, I think you were first through the door, mate. What's your take, buddy? And welcome to the show.
Is not the player that I thought, or even the role that I thought we should be sort of pursuing. If I'm brutally honest, am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy that we're getting good players in. He's obviously gonna swap in with for Berghvall or Gray, and that's got to be an upgrade. The fee is bonkers, isn't it? The fee is absolutely bonkers, and it's. I was having a chat with somebody, and they were talking about inflation, and the whole point of inflation is that it's balanced economically by productivity, but not in football. In football, prices of players only go one way, and can it keep going like that?
Yeah,
can it just keep going up? It's absolutely madness, isn't it? I
don't know what the catalyst is for it to get out of hand this year, though. I don't know what the catalyst, like why, because last season it wasn't. It was much worse. It was weirder. Like it got to a point about 10 years ago where it was out of control, and then it settled down a little bit. But it's starting to kick on again, isn't it? Like Elliot Anderson, by the way, doesn't look anything like £115 million. A British transfer record. He's played so badly at the World Cup. I think he's been absolutely.
Was it Declan Rice breaking the £100 million mark? Did that break a glass ceiling? The now that somebody's paid 100 million, now we're going to have to go and pay 100 million. But I do have to wonder as well if it's the fact that there aren't that many good players out there.
If you go back to what it was like 20 years ago, football, in my opinion, has hit a floor. There's only probably about 3 players out there that would even have a chance of calling themselves world-class compared to what used to be here 20 years ago, 25 years ago, in my opinion. When people tell me Saka
The
is
game's
world
changed in
class,
style, though, mate. You're not rewarded for being technical anymore. You're rewarded for being physical, aren't you?
it's very robotic, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
when
100%.
people tell me Saka or whatever is world class, and then I go and look at players I've seen like Figo, I'm like, I think football.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Yeah, but Sean's right. It has changed with Tonali. I followed him from AC Milan. I mean, Syria, I follow that just like the Premier League, if not more. And I personally thought he was going to be the next Pirlo. And I don't think he's quite lived up to the standards of that. And I think where he went to Newcastle and played a total different way to what he did at AC Milan, it sort of held him back a little bit. If we get him back to the way they played him at AC Milan, I feel we can progress as a player still. I don't think he's hit his peak just yet, which is a good thing. But we've got a player there who's also got a lot of experience, very adaptive. Is he worth 100 million? No. Was Fernandes worth 85 million? No. But the situation we're in, people know we've got money. People know we are desperate for players. You're going to get charged that extra 20% anyway, like people used to do with Man U, basically, because they knew Man U had the money. And it's the economy at the moment. It's just stupid out there with the prices. The thing that totally done it was when that started it off the other time, is when PSG had, what's his name, off of Barcelona, like 180 mil or whatever it was. And it
Neymar.
Yeah, and everything just went stupid, didn't it? So possibly the Declan Rice one for 100 mil kicked it.
I think the squad cost ratio pivot is quite important. Like moving away from the £105 million losses over the last 3 years, like towards your squad cost, like the SCR thing, where it's like 85% or 70% if you're in Europe. That is a meaningful change in the way that you can account, and so that's obviously a big part. I mean, Tottenham are massively taking advantage of that. Like it's in a significant way. I want to just finish off getting I'll get Danny Kiriakou in, or Danny Hakiakou is what I call him now. My man, the smartest guy apart from Claude in my life when it comes to computers. Big up to you, Danny. It's nice to see your face rather than your usual picture of that dog or whatever it is that you have on there. How are you, mate? How excited are you? And then after you've got your take on Tonali, I want to start going into Dreamworld stuff. What is it that we are capable of doing? Who can we go for next? Where do we pivot to? Because very, very quickly, Tottenham fans will be like, well, that was yesterday. It was yesterday. Today's today. Where's my bomber? Where's my bomber? Go on, Danny. What are you saying about Tonali, mate?
I'm buzzing, to be honest with you. I think Jim summed it up beautifully. Like, we've never, ever done anything like this. We've gone and smashed our transfer record within 3 days, twice, right? And the fact that I'm impressed that we sold Vuskovic in the perfect way possible with the 20% sell-on clause and the matching bid or whatever it is if they were to sell him, right? Which, if you think about it, Tottenham never sell a player when they're not even at their prime or they haven't even hit their peak yet. They always sell the player when they're finished and down and out, right? So the fact that we've gone and sold someone in this way, right, to raise money as well, it is the smartest bit of business you could possibly do. And do you know, honestly, I'm so excited for what's to come because our midfield is completely transformed now. Tonali, I agree with Dan. I also think we're going to see a completely different Tonali at Spurs, and I think people are going to be like, I think after a while, people are going to be like 100 million. He's worth way more than that. I genuinely believe that. I think in the De Zerbi system with the players around him think about it, right? Just think about the players that we're targeting. We're targeting players who are amazing on the ball, not scared of the ball, right? Who are very, very, very good under pressure, right? Who can get out of tight spots. All the players we're targeting are all players who are very, very competent on the ball and are not scared of the ball. They want the ball, right? And I think when you've got a team and a whole team of players and everyone really confident in having the ball and they're technically gifted, I think we're going to see a completely different Tonali, to be honest with you. I'm so excited to see what's happening. And just last thing I'll say is inject that shit because more's coming. And I think we're going to have an amazing. I think we'll have the best ever window. And I think we'll sell a few more as well.
Yeah. Get Berghvall out. He's not going to be needed there.
Yeah,
he hasn't.
Bring in Krupi. That's who I want as the striker. bring in Krupi. For me, you
Gotta
have
get the
someone like
crap out. Well done.
yeah, I know, but look, if someone said to you at the end of last season, right, that we were going to have Tonali, Fernandez, someone just say in Dream World, Krupi, Savinho, Kudus, Xavi Simons, or Maddison, you're taking that. You'll be like, oh fuck on, stop taking the piss, right? But that could be the reality. Literally, could be our reality. So I want to let everyone else speak because I enjoyed listening as well. So
yeah, I want to. If we can, like, I'll stop talking. I want to bring everyone in. Like, just as long as we don't over talk each other. There's 9 people here. Big up to Hayden. I'll come to you in a minute. Jimbo, I just want to bring you back in because you haven't spoken for a while, and then get Kate, and then I'll get Will in, and then I'll come down to Hayden. Right, just sort of quick answers or whatever. Jimbo, what's your sort of thoughts on where this window really takes us? Like in terms of like we've spent, what is it going to be, 240 million quid already, something like that, right? Insane amount of money. We've got 5. Is it 5 players now? 5? Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 6, right? Tonali, Fernandez, Dubravka.
Yes, 6.
6, right? Where do we? What's the number? Do we get to double figures on incomings, or do we? Is it just going to be 7, 8, 9? Where you at, Jimbo?
Well, this window's took me to I want to go into a room and just have a wank. That's where it's took me. It's just. It's just. They keep talking about it on Sky Sports, and I keep thinking that someone's playing a trick on me.
The joy of having a computer in another room, eh?
Jimbo Bomber.
I'm so happy.
Kate can help you with that, Jimbo.
I'm so happy that demonetization hasn't figured out English language yet. If you said the M word, he would have been like demonetized. But no, we can get away with that word. Absolutely fine.
Chat GPT.
The thing is, Sean, is they can't stop here, can they? Because going forward from the midfield, right, we're not good enough. So they have to keep going. So I mean, it's just they ain't going to stop here. They have to go and get a winger. They've got to get another forward. So I mean, I'm just in fucking disbelief that this is happening. I really am. But look, it's fantastic. It's what we deserve as Spurs fans. This club has milked us fans, right, for years and years and years with season tickets, with tickets. I mean, when me and Kate go to Tottenham, it costs us hundreds and hundreds of pounds to go to one game. So I can't imagine what it costs people to buy the season tickets. And the merchandise is so expensive. When you eat in there, it's expensive. They fleeced us. So it's about time they put their hands in their pocket and did this and made us all happy. And they've made me very happy.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. I know people feel like I'm poo-pooing on some of it when I bring up certain topics or whatever. I'm just playing devil's advocate because there are, like, the idea of just spend the money and good things happen. There's consequences to that. It's like living a credit card lifestyle. Not that we're in that boat, but Kate, let me come to you. Where do we go next? Are we gonna finally get over the now that the Sandro Tonali to Tottenham thing is done? There was a really clever someone on Twitter put out a really clever sort of comment saying that Savinho isn't done. It's gone quiet, but Tottenham still want him. It's just they don't want to pay City any money before they've got the player that they want, that they're fearful of the gazumption from in Manchester City. So do you think that Savinho is going to be the ultimate next step, or do you think we're going to pivot into a different direction?
No, I don't. I think Savinho is not going to happen. I think we are going to go for Marmoush and Gakpo next. They're the two I think we're going to get. Because Gakpo can play on the left wing. Marmoush is through the middle. He's not wanted at City. They're the two players I think that De Zerbi's got his eye on to finish off this transformation. And there won't be gushing. There will be pouring showers coming from every orifice, Jimbo. So
you will be slipping off the chair. She'll have to do stream standing up.
I don't think Savinho. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a smoke screen, but I think if we wanted him, it would have been done. I know, what you say makes sense about us not giving City the money. I don't think he's the guy. I think Marmoush is going to be...
same conversation for maybe Omar Marmoush instead.
Exactly.
God, right?
I mean, for me, there's no comparison between Savinho and Marmoush. I'm taking Marmoush all day long. I know he's a lot older, but he's a lot better. And
Go with it.
Gakpo, I think he's got that sort of flexibility about him. Like I say, he can play down the left, he can go through the middle. He's, I've just got a feeling those are the two we're going to, in your words, Shawnee, pivot to. And it's exciting. It's like, I can't even believe I'm mentioning players of this ilk coming to Tottenham.
Yeah, it's insane.
Unreal. It is.
Will,
insane.
let me come to you, mate. Kroupy Jr., I know Kate was saying Marmoush. I see Marmoush more as a 9, to be honest, than I do as a winger, personally. But he's definitely capable of playing anywhere across the field.
Gakpo is the winger.
Oh, sorry.
Marmoush
You think?
the forward.
Oh, sorry. Marmoush in the 9, and then Gakpo is the left
Quote
wing.
me, Butler.
Oh, I didn't quote you. I just fucking paraphrased you.
Do you think we could get both? Do you think we could get both, like a Savio and a Gakpo?
Nah, we're not going to get 2 left wingers. No, you'll get 1 winger, 1 striker, and then maybe a creative player for the front. Then, Will, let me come to you. Would you rather Marmoush or would you rather Kroupy Jr.?
I like Kroupy. I liked him when he was in France. I know it's France, but like a kid coming through is a good place to be in France. He did pretty well last season in the Prem as well. I think taking the next step. I think if we get Kroupy, we might need someone ahead of him to give us more goals and then have him come on to give that player a rest or something. I'm not sure if he can do it by himself, is what I think I'm trying to say. I don't want Gakpo just because I speak to my Liverpool friend and he's fine with letting him leave. He thinks he's absolutely
useless, yeah?
Yeah, useless.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird because the stats tell a completely different story to what most people think of Gakpo. It's really odd. His stats look fantastic on a per 90 basis, but people with the eye test think he's selfish and think he's volatile and inconsistent, Yeah,
I think that's the same thing for Savio as well. He can be quite selfish. He tries to dribble around people a couple of times instead of just getting past them and crossing it or cutting it back to someone as well. It's like that Brazilian thing where they like to humiliate their marker instead of actually just get past them and do it for the team.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Let me bring Hayden in, and then we'll open it up to go around to other people as well. I apologise if anyone feels like they haven't had enough time to speak here. I'm just trying to do my best here with as many people as there are on the show. Hayden, welcome to the channel, mate. Were you out tonight? Have you been on the old? Have you had a good time?
Yes,
yeah,
I have.
He's had a good time. He's had a good time.
Me and Phil P linked up at about 10 to 5. Me and Billy T were in the pub from about 3 o'clock. So
lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
You can imagine how I'm feeling. Mate, unbelievable. Literally, Billy left because he's got to get back because he's got early work to get to. Literally popped to the toilet, come back. One of my pals has gone, I think we've got a Here We Go. Turn my phone around and just seen an absolute bomber. And yeah, mate, literally, like, the pub just starts just chanting all Spurs songs because of what's happened. And, mate, unbelievable. Like, if you're pairing a Fernandes with a Tonali, for me, that's basically just a young Bruno G. The way they play. So, for me, it's an absolute game changer for our midfield. I feel like next season we're really going in strong. Our whole core of our team has been improved, minus the striker. Left centre back, right centre back. You could argue if you're going a bit old school formation, left side is centre mid, right side centre mid, aka number 6, number 8 has been improved massively. We just need to get, for me, we need to get a striker. And we need to get a left winger. Obviously, the Vuskovic news means that we've got an extra £46 million to play with on top of what we already had set aside, considering all of our PSR legroom and SCR legroom. So, mate, literally, like, I am genuinely gobsmacked that I'm sat here thinking that we are actually acting like a big football club. Like, I'm a little bit like. I was in the pub and everyone was like, we've just got Tonali. And I was like, what do you mean? It was like, it's literally happened. I was like, so you're telling me in the space of 24 hours, we spent about £185 million on 2 footballers.
Yeah.
Like, that is not a Tottenham that I have ever seen. And I didn't think I would ever see. under ENIC, but now obviously I think it's fair to say, and I'm going to go out on a bit of a whim here, being part of change with Tottenham. I feel like we are now seeing ENIC 2.0. I'm probably massively out of a job because of this, which is absolutely fine because this is what we want. Obviously, the fight continues.
The Tottenham thing.
Yeah, but always the fight continues, whether that be, we sign 5 or 6 players. We'll always fight for ticket prices. We'll always fight for, everything else we want for the club. But we've just signed 2 centre midfielders for a combined price of £185 million. And for me, that is absolutely mental. I would have if someone said to me before the window opened, we'd get one player that would cost upwards of £80 million, and that would be our statement signing, I would have bitten your hands off. So the fact we've got 2, and we obviously still very clearly needed a left winger and a striker. We've basically sorted our defence out completely.
Our defence is fine. Our midfield now looks fantastic. We've got to get some outgoings. We're gonna have to sort of pivot towards some outgoings now, right?
Yeah, I think we will, but I think it's going to be a case of the club realise that you need to spend the money when you need to spend the money. You can't be doing the whole, but if we raise this, it means we can do that, and then maybe we can spend a bit more here or X there, whatever. It seems to be that now it's I think I've heard you say this, we've gone from very much sell before you buy, and now we're very, very much buy before you sell. So I feel like there will be a bit of a middle ground, I think, over the next month or 2, but as long as we get a centre forward that can score goals and a left winger that is dangerous, I'm happy. Those are 2 positions I feel like we still need to improve on. Yeah. If we can then go and get a versatile winger that can play the side when we might have an injury. And there's also rumours about Trafford as well today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Surely that's not going to happen now, is it?
Pretty nuts. But if that becomes the case of Austin goes and Dubravka becomes the Austin and Kinsky becomes the second and Trafford becomes the 1.
No, Kinsky's just signed a new contract to be Tottenham's number 1.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't really.
The Trafford story is a load of bollocks. Let's pivot to some outgoing conversation, though, guys. I do want to figure out from you guys where we're going to raise the money. Well, one conversation was gone very, very fucking quiet is Christian Romero. Last we heard, I'll come to whoever that's actually researched. Danny Kiriakou, then Danny, and then Rain as well. Romero, the story there has gone very quiet, right? And the last we heard, we heard from his dad, who said there's some sort of release clause somewhere between 35 million quid and 45 million quid. But he said that back in February. In the last couple of weeks, we've heard that there's not a lot of interest in Romero, and we might have to lower our asking price to 30 million quid or even lower, like a 2 handle, to get him out of the football club, Danny. We're talking for the last half an hour about the madness of the transfer market. I've just got a sneaking suspicion that Tottenham are going to get fucking rug pulled on Romero. He's not a £25 million centre-back. As much as people don't like it, I don't like the guy, but he is a very, very talented centre-back. And someone like Atletico Madrid, they do this so well. They are always so impressive, Atletico Madrid, at getting some unbelievable talent without paying the price. I just got a feeling it's going to happen again. But do you agree, Daniel? What's your thoughts on Romero leaving and how much can we get through?
I think that Romero will sort out his future when the World Cup's over for Argentina. And I do think he will leave. I don't know how much we will get for him. I reckon we'll probably get between the 40 and 50 million euro mark, right? And to be honest with you, I don't mind if that's the case because for me, Romero's done. I want to let other people speak, so I won't say too much. For me, Romero's done. Get rid of him. Reinvest that money into the squad. I want to see it invested into areas where we actually need players now. Like Hayden said, we need a striker still. We might even need 2. If Richalison goes, we might need 2 players. Like Kate said, a Marmouche type, right? Who could also play as a winger as well, but mainly a striker. Look, I think one of Barcelona or Atletico Madrid are going to get him, and I think it just depends on whether or not he has an amazing World Cup or not.
He ain't
If he gets to the
Barcelona, bro, I don't.
I think he could. I think he could.
What a delusion if he thinks that a top team like Barcelona are going to come.
I think he could. I really do. I really
Romero.
do. Yeah,
Romero. Yeah,
Romero.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because
just one second, just super quick. Sorry, Jimbo's just left. Be up to Jimbo for coming on. I know he's gone for a shower or something. Kate, you said something in the in the private message there. When did Romero say that he wants to leave?
Do you know Romero came out recently and said that he wants to stay and help Tottenham to be great again? Well, it's been reported today he wants to leave with Barcelona and Athletic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Both been around, yeah.
Barcelona.
Yeah. And do you know what? I actually, when I look at that report, Kate, because I saw that one as well, I actually think that it's very plausible he could go to one of them, because I don't believe Spurs, because if he has an agreement, a clause in his contract that's under 50 million euros, one of those clubs will activate it. I'm sure of it, right? I don't think that if you're getting a player of his caliber for under 50 million euros, that's not pounds, euros, right? That's like what, 40 million pounds. That's not a lot for a player of his ability, right? Regardless of whether or not he's consistent enough, right? His ability is there, right? We all know this. So I think for 40 million euros or pounds, whatever you want to call it, pounds, then it's a good deal for one of those clubs. I think he'll go for around that.
What are you saying, Rain?
I'm saying that Kate and Jimbo sound like they're going to be doing completely different type of content if we start signing really, really good forwards in Marmouche, and they might even have to switch platforms. It's like
who said we haven't already, Rain? I'm just saying.
maybe. I just don't. I mean, with Romero clearly wants out. He clearly wants out, but he wants to go to the right club, and unfortunately, those clubs aren't sniffing around. So he's kind of playing it both sides. I don't know what we can do about it, really. You know, what can we do? With Bissouma last summer, and Richalison, I was saying that we should go to them and go, look, you're not going to get registered. Go and find yourself another club. But you can't do that to Romero. You can't sit your captain from last season, you know, on the bench. We could sit Bissouma on the bench if we didn't, you know, if we went out and got another midfielder. We could sit Richalison on the bench if we went out and got another forward. If they didn't get off their bottoms, or get their agents off their bottoms to go and get them other clubs. But you can't do that to Romero, especially not on 200 grand a week either. So we're really, really stuffed. We're gonna have to do a Dan. We're just gonna have to take a hit. We're just gonna have to take whatever money is gonna be given to us.
Do what? A Dan?
I agree. It's what I've been saying for the past few days, that if you look at our whole team of players we want to sell, there's only about 3 players that we actually make profit on, and there's one of them that we just sold, basically, and that is Vuskovic. And then we'd probably make profit on Spence because he was cheap, profit on Berghvall because he was cheap, and profit on Sarr. Nobody else has justified us to make any money off of any of those players. Romero, in my opinion, I've said it for 2 years, is the most overrated,
he's shit,
inconsistent player we have had at this club. On his day, you'll get a 10 out of him, and he's as good as anyone. Yeah.
Are you happy to have Danzo as your backup right-sided centre back then, Dan?
Yeah.
I'd play Danzo over Romero
all day long.
At least you're
happy to have Van Hecker. And if Van Hecker gets injured on the first game of the season and he does his ACL or something silly like that, then you've got Danzo in there for the whole season. Are you happy with that?
Yeah. If you give me a choice of a team, I'll pick Danzo over Romero. Why? Because Danzo, he hasn't got the quality of Romero, but you know you're getting a 6 or a 7 out of him pretty much every game. Whereas Romero, you get a 10, you get a 5, you get a 2, you get a 9, you get a 1, you get a -10, and then you get this. And he's so inconsistent. And this is why you can't call him a quality player. It's like Ndombele. We all know he had it, but he only showed up once in a blue moon. And Romero is no better. He seems to think the club and the world owes him something as well. If we get offered 35 million for him, I'll take it all day long. I think his attitude is terrible at the club. I think as a captain, he's been awful. He's had some brilliant games, but very few and far between. I think he's a liability on the pitch at the best of times when he goes up the field and then can't be bothered to run back and costs us goals for it. But then people ignore it because he scores a couple as well. I think he's one of the first players I want out of this club personally.
Right. Okay, so let me ask this. Everybody on the panel whose camera's on, who's the person next to me whose camera's off at the moment? Who's that?
Levy.
Who's up here? Who's camera? Everyone on the panel, thumbs up or thumbs down selling Romero for, like, let's say 35 million quid. Is everyone okay with it? Anyone got a problem with it? Guys in the chat, make sure you hit the ones and zeros. 1, you want him gone. 0, you want him to stay. Let's move on to Lucas Berghvall and Archie Gray. Well, obviously, we had the story today that Archie Gray was of interest to Newcastle. Both clubs have come out and said it was never really a bid. It was an expression of interest or whatever. Of the two of those guys, well, we need to raise money, right? If we're going to go and get Krupi and we're going to go and get Savio or Rashford or whoever it is, you watch Rashford today. He's the only one that excites me on my left-hand side for England. I think he's so much better than Anthony Gordon. But anyway, we'll start with the Berghvall and the Archie Gray thing. Where does everyone feel about which one of those two can go, and for what sort of price point would you be happy to see one of them leave?
Berghvall sell for. I'm gonna say something that might be controversial. Sell Berghvall for 30 million, so fairly cheap, but put a buyback in for 60 or 70. So if he does become world class, it's terrible business, but at least we've got a safety net. Keep Gray and sell Sarr.
Sorry,
Morgan gets
can I just sorry, Dan, can I just get into this? When does a buyback ever happen?
No, it doesn't. But I'm saying if
it happens at Real Madrid, right? Real Madrid.
Okay, Real Madrid. So let's not pretend with a buyback. Let's say 30%.
They do happen.
Oh, do they? When?
Of course they do.
We've almost got a buyback on Vicario because we've got matching rights.
Not exactly the same, but
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let's be honest.
But you can't say that. You can't say that, Rain, because no one said that Tonali would sign or Fernandes would sign for Tottenham, but we did. So you can't really say that.
No. But looking
the best player that Tottenham have ever had that they never played for Tottenham. Said that a year ago.
You look back at. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. You look back at history. There's no buybacks. It doesn't happen. If you sell a player, they don't go back. It's just so. Let's not pretend that we would be bonkers to put that in and think that that it's a thing. You're putting in a sell on clause, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, but with Vuskovic, we've got a sell on clause of 20% and matching rights, which is basically a buyback, technically.
Yeah, but the buyback has to be agreeable to the player, right? And this is the thing. Like, I think Rain's got a point. Like, Nico Paz was bought by was like indefinitely loaned, essentially with a sale to Como. Real Madrid activated the buyback just to sell him back to Como for 65 million quid, right? But this is Real Madrid do this because they have all of the fucking talent in the world coming through Spain's youth teams, and they are the biggest team in the world. So every player wants to play for Real Madrid. Tottenham don't have that draw. So I'm with it's an irrelevant kind of concept. And as far as using
big clubs do it, Sean. Big clubs do it. Liverpool do it. Chelsea do it. Man City do it. And they have done it in recent years.
Who have Liverpool sold?
Didn't Chelsea buy Colwill back from Brighton? They activated the buyback clause, didn't they? And Quansah's played at Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool want to sign him.
Nico Paz,
and they can buy him back. It does happen.
Paz is a prime example of a buyback that's worked in Real Madrid.
Yeah, but it's Real Madrid because the player has to want to go back there. Like Luka Vuskovic doesn't want to come to. If he wanted to be at Tottenham, he would have played for Tottenham. He didn't want to play.
But Nico Paz agreed to the buyback even though he knew he was going to get sold. So how does that work?
No, Nico Paz agreed to the buyback because he wanted to go to Real Madrid, but then when he went to Como, he fell in love with Como, and then Real Madrid literally bought him back at 12 million to sell him at 60, back to the same club. So it was like a buyback but sell back. It's a slightly different thing.
Okay.
Nico Paz is not playing
That's
for
some
Real
sort
Madrid.
of money laundering thing.
But essentially, yeah. Listen, but just quickly, guys, before I bring Hugo in and Will in and everyone else in, Kate, I know you've got to go. You said you're going to go in a few minutes, so I was going to give you last words, mate. Sorry, busy show tonight, obviously. Thanks so much for coming on. In terms of Berghvall and Sarr and Gray, what's your proposed strategy with regards raising money? How much from who? We haven't heard much in the way of interest in Pape Sarr, have we? No, we haven't seen a single bit of news about that guy.
No, I mean, I'd like to sell him. I don't know how much we'll get for him. If it comes down to Berghvall and Gray, I'd sell Berghvall purely because I think that's where we're getting the most money. Because we paid more for Gray, I just don't see us recouping much more than what we paid. I don't see that Berghvall's going to be this world beater. I'm sorry, I don't. I know some people do. I don't see anything in him that makes me think he's going to be the superstar. It's like the people that want to hold on to Vuskovic because he's going to be a superstar. We've not even seen him in the Premier League properly yet. So for me, I would definitely sell Berghvall. I wouldn't take less than 45 for him. I think we can get that easy. I don't give a shit about buyback or any of that crap because, like I said, I don't rate him as high as a lot of people do. I just think people need to realise that De Zerbi is building his team, and there's going to be some casualties like Vuskovic, who, although he's a casualty, he didn't want to be here anyway. So, yeah, for me, I'm not bothered even if Gray went, but I just don't think we're selling because we won't get back particularly what we paid for him or make a profit on him where we will with Berghvall. So, and Sarr, whatever we can get for him, I'd sell him and all.
Fair enough. Kate, should we take this opportunity to say goodbye? I'll plug your channel. What's coming up on Kate and Jimbo?
We're back on, what day is it? Friday. We're back on Friday at 3 for another transfer update show. Bombers do happen when we go live, but they happen where Vuskovic is going to Brighton. That was our bomber today that went it went live. But as soon as I come on Shawnee's, we got a massive bomber. So
what happens? It's what happens here. You know, what do you want from me? You know?
I know. And
they wait until we go live on the Spurs Talk Show, and they go, "Oh, he's live. Okay, let's drop it. Let's drop that bomber."
And if you want more of Kate and Jimbo uncut, then I'll put the OnlyFans on our page so you can have a look.
Kate, be careful as you get off that chair. Thank you so much for.
Jimbo's in the shower, so I'm going to give him like 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's getting ready for an evening. He's washing his balls and that. Good luck to you. Good luck to you both. Enjoy yourself. Kate, love you. Thanks so much for coming on. Guys, please get on to Kate and Jimbo.
Seriously, he's being rude. He's got his razor out and he's being rude.
Trimming his balls.
Cheers, Kate. Love you, mate.
Bye, Kate.
Get over to Kate and Jimbo, guys. The link's in the description. Please do smash the subscribe. We're down to 7. It's more reasonable numbers right now. More reasonable numbers. Before I bring Hugo in and big up to Jasper as well, I just want to do, guys, if you don't mind, there's some super chilly chit chats I have to catch up on. There's some really nice ones as well. South Stand Spurs N17 says, spending big now on a new team, then in the future windows, we only need to refresh here and there. Surely it makes sense. I'm actually going to keep that one because I think it's a nice talking point. Just give me a minute, South Stand Spurs, and we'll come back to that because it is actually a good strategy conversation we can go into. Marzi82 with a super sticker. Big up to you, Marzi. Thank you very much, my man. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Like that fucking, that picture, that profile picture. Every time I see it, I think of 1980s music. Big up to you, Marzi. Rob Brown says, offer Barca Romero for Ferran Torres. By the way, Mexico 2, England 0. Rob Brown, you're an Englishman, and you're predict. Yeah, listen, maybe, mate. I mean, we're playing like the only thing higher altitude than playing in the Mexico Stadium is playing on the fucking moon. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be hard work up there. So.
7,000 meters.
Need your spacesuit suit up, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
I can't believe Jasper's only 10. It's unbelievable. So mature. So mature. Big up to you, Rob. Thank you very much for the super chat. Super Spurs Blano says, "Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Wowza, Sean, I will not be missing any games with these players lining up for us." Mate, you have to go to a game first, bro, before you can start making those claims. Man bought himself a half a year season ticket in January, turned up to one game. One game out of what? Fucking 9 that he had options for? Unbelievable stuff. Big up to you, Blaine. Big up to you, Blaine. Thank you very much, mate. Super generous as well, mate. Super, super generous. Love you, man. Dude, come on the show, bro. You've got the link. Come on the show, mate. Show your face. We love Blaine over here. He's also been absolutely super generous once again with an unbelievable 20 Spurs Talk Show memberships have been donated. Guys, if you are a member of the show, I promise you that I will promise to try to maintain my promise that I will do a member show. I always say this and I never do them, but I promise you I will do a members phoning show this week. I 100%. I've got to do some taxes stuff tomorrow, but hopefully on what day are we today? Friday, I'll do it. Big up to you, Blano. Thank you so much, mate. If you did receive one of those memberships, please do say thank you to Blano in the chat. Spurs GCTV says tissues for Jimbo. Yeah, Jimbo and Kate are going to have some fun tonight, clearly. Jasper, cover your ears, mate. You don't need to hear that stuff. You don't know what's going on there. Big up to Daniel Field as well with a generous super sticker. Choo-choo to you, Danny boy. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Appreciate you, bro. Always have, always will. Legend of the chat. And the Bear Nose, my man. I think this Bear Nose Vibes guy is in Woking down the road from me. He says Berghvall and Gray will be homegrown at the club. Interesting. That's another interesting take. I'm going to stick with that one before we come back to South Stand Spurs. Hugo, I'll bring you in now. Big up to you, mate, and the doggies, and to Jasper. Let's start with the Tonali deal, but then once you've got that thoughts off your chest, quick as you can, then let's. I want to get your take on this whole thing because we have got decisions to make regarding Sarr, Berghvall, and Gray. We've got too many midfielders.
Yep.
Need to sell a couple. Who do you sell? Where do you sell? When do you sell? And for what money?
Well, we've also got a maybe arguably a couple too many central defenders.
Yeah, but
So
we'll stick to the midfielders for the time being.
You can never have too many. You can never have too many.
Well, I just think, superb business. Thrilled to get Tonali in. And it's, first time for a long time that I can think that actually, one of our managers has been given the players that he actually wants, which, is a real novelty. And the fact that it's turbo money and that they haven't, they've done what needs to be done to get those players in and not go for number, 5 on the list, but actually number 1 is amazing, right? And hopefully let's hope that it's not just, who was it? Someone said yesterday, lightning in a bottle. Let's just hope that this is a sign of what's to come and how they'll operate moving forward. Because if it is, Spurs could be, back at the right end of the table rather quicker than we probably all imagined. Let's be honest. I mean, we thought, okay, coming into this season, if things didn't really change, but under De Zerbi, I think most of us would have been like, yeah, could we probably see ourselves in maybe the top 8? That'd be nice. But you have to think with these kind of signings and so on, we've got to be around the European noise somewhere, right? Otherwise, there's going to be, heads will roll.
Oh, for sure. The expectations of next season go up dramatically. Good point, by the way. But let's just. And I appreciate your take there. If you know what, Hugo, I'm going to give Jasper a chance to answer this one rather than you before I bring in the other boys. Mm-hmm. Jasper, who would you? You're a youngster playing a little bit of football, I know. Who would you rather sell, Sarr, Berghvall, or Gray?
Here I would probably sell Pape because his past year I don't think he's been at his best. We've seen him; he's given all that he's probably tried, but it's not good enough. If we want to be at that top, we need to sell all these players that we think don't belong at Tottenham.
How much would you take for Pape Sarr?
20 million. He's not the best, but 20 million is okay.
All right, and then of the Sarr Berghvall story, would you sell either of them?
I would.
Sorry, the Gray Berghvall story. Sorry,
I mean, I think Berghvall, he's got some talent. He was starting for Sweden the other day. I mean, I think he's got talent, and I think that he can sometimes do it if he needs to. And I feel like he's got a good chance to show up big this year.
So you'd rather keep Lucas Berghvall, yeah?
Yeah, I would probably, even though Gray was out of position this year most of the time. I don't think he's our best.
Mate, Hugo, one bit of advice. Your lad is 10 years old, right?
Yes.
Mate, super head on his shoulders. Start a YouTube channel now. By the time he gets to our age, he'll have 25 gazillion billion fucking subscribers, right? He's got his head on his shoulders. Do a YouTube channel. Talk about the kids. We'll do it off screen. Big up to you.
I was going to say, you don't want to say that in public, mate. You don't want to be like, talk about the kids.
No, yeah. But you understand. I'm just saying respect, mate. Respect. I know a lot of that sounds weird. That's saying a lot of 10-year-olds. But I know some people that have children, and not many of them have got their head on their shoulders like yours does. So, well done, mate.
I've been, for good or for bad, I've indoctrinated him with being a Spurs fan from right away, and as a result of that, he's used to games. Yeah, he's used to watching,
Holly.
He's used to the dog's causing mayhem. Let me bring back in Danny. Let's get to you, mate. Berghvall, Gray. One of them's got to go. Right? Who are we going to go? Who are we going to sell for how much?
I wouldn't mind seeing the back of either of them. I think they're both crap, but Gray seems the most legit one to keep because he's homegrown and he's a bit universal on the pitch. As in the squad, I can deal with him there as long as he's somewhere distant in the squad unless we desperately need him. Berghvall, he has just done nothing. His stats show he only runs forward. He loses the ball, can't head the ball, can't shoot, can't pass, can't cross. He's just... If we get 50 million for him, take it. But what I would try and actually do with Berghvall is, if we're still interested in Morgan Gibbs-White and Nottingham Forest are meant to be interested in Berghvall, why not go put 50 million on the table and then say take Berghvall as well?
Yeah, but Glasner's going there now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a massive move by them, by the way. That is a significant move. Nottingham Forest under Glasner. I mean, they're going to go back and play the sort of football that they played under Nuno, which was super successful, right? And they've got a really, really good group of team. I think Nottingham Forest, that's a brilliant move for Forest. I think that's super impressive. I don't know how...
It's a Nuno upgrade, right? It's a Nuno upgrade is what it is.
It's a massive upgrade on the same profile as Nuno. And the players that they have can suit that football. Ange Postecoglou going to Forest was just a disaster. Pereira did well, right? But to keep them up, I think Forest are now that's a like, if you're a Forest fan, like Wolfie, someone in the chat a minute ago, put in a super chat. Congratulations! You should be super happy because that's a massive move.
How long was Pereira's contract, by the way?
I think it was 3 years when it was signed, so he's got paid 2.5 years for
that's all right, isn't it?
The beautiful grift of being a football manager.
I mean,
it's insane, But listen, we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about us. But Nottingham Forest do have money burning in their pocket. They did put in a bid, according to reports, for Berghvall for 50 bar, and it was turned down by Tottenham. Turned down. So I don't know what these people are seeing in Berghvall, because if I'm honest, if someone wants to pay 50 million quid for Berghvall,
bye.
See you later. Sayonara, bro. Good luck to you. No harm, no foul. Wish you well. Good servant when you played, but you didn't show anything that proved to me that you're ready for the Premier League level. And 50 million is 50 million, right? And like I say, if we're going to, I do want to bring it back to Tottenham's incomings as well. But like someone like Krupi Jr., if you're going to go and Bournemouth are going to charge you 120 million quid for it, which is mental, right? But that's what they're going to ask for. And if you want to go and get it done, like the striker market is the most, like the differential between supply and demand in the striker market is always the most pronounced, and it's also always the most inflated, positionally driven sort of transfer price point. So if Tottenham want to go and get Omar Marmoush or Krupa Jr., you're going to drop 100 million quid for them. And if Tottenham want that 100 million quid, you've got to find the money from somewhere. And if Tottenham think that Archie Gray is better than Berghvall, fine. I'm not sure. But if that's what they want. Sorry, Dan, go on. Carry on, mate. What you can say?
I don't rate either. I just think Gray can offer that bit more to the club where he's a little bit universal on the pitch, basically. Give me a choice. I'd sell all three of them, Sarr, Gray and Berghvall. I don't think none of them are good enough. People brag on at me about Gray had a good game with Real Madrid. Or what? Yeah, so did Harry Winks. Yeah. And he is not... It's another one. If we want to see this club improve, we have to be more ruthless and less sentimental as a fan base and be willing to let players go. Then people tell me he's young. I really don't care if Spurs ruin his career by selling him. I support Spurs, not Archie Gray or Berghvall or Sarr. We need to get the players out and get money in to spend as well to keep it rolling, basically, don't we? We can't just hang on to the crap there, basically. But Gray would be the one I think would be more sensible to keep because he's more universal on the pitch and he's got the homegrown side to him and that.
Well, why don't we do the same?
I think they both can qualify for homegrown if they stay for it. Well, Archie Gray will always, but they'll also qualify for club train if they stay for an extra year.
Yeah, another year, innit? But Archie Gray offers you more on the pitch. If say we're in trouble again with injuries and that, there's more use for Archie Gray on there than there is for Berghvall, basically. You can either use Archie Gray as a right back, centre back, not that he's particularly good at it, or centre mid. Whereas what do you get Berghvall to do? He's in the wrong sport. He might as well just be in athletics, as far as I'm concerned, and run round in circles, same as Sarr. I think good engine maybe, but there's just no delivery off either of them. I think Gray would be the more sensible to keep, but my option, sell all three of them, and like I said, or go for Morgan Gibbs-White and offer Berghvall as well.
Oh, that's actually an interesting one, isn't it? That's the story I'm interested in picking you guys' brains on. Will, let me bring you in. What's your thoughts on Gibbs-White? Tottenham, obviously, we know what happened last summer. Do you think there's a chance that Marinakis he's got to replace Elliot Anderson? I'm not sure Berghvall is the obvious replacement for an Elliot Anderson. They're different types of players, but Ibrahim Sangare, if they can keep hold of Sangare, maybe they could bring back Danilo because they've got a relationship with Botafogo, even though John Textor is now like basically bankrupt and is going to be put in prison for fraud. But Botafogo is in all sorts of trouble. But their boy Danilo that was at Forest last year, the season before last, they might bring him back to replace Elliot Anderson. And then maybe Berghvall can play some other role in the team. But would you go to Forest and say, let's have a meaningful conversation? We would still like to bring in Gibbs-White. And then if you rate him at 100 million quid, for example, we rate Berghvall at 50. We'll give you 50 or 40 or whatever, plus Berghvall. Would you be okay with that, Will? Or is that not of interest to you at all?
I think we should probably just offer them Berghvall and Sarr. Because if we're going to take Gibbs-White, they need another midfielder. They already need another midfielder. So 2 midfielders for one, maybe plus 20 mil. This sorts their problem out. We get a good player. They get our...
I do that all fucking day long, by the way. Sarr and Berghvall for Morgan Gibbs-White plus a little bit of money. 100%.
Hopefully Marinakis has had some of his... and he's not of the right mind. And...
hang on.
Has
Morgan Gibbs-White got a release clause? People are saying he's got a release clause. Will have a 70 million release clause. Will have versus does have. I'm not sure that is. I'm not sure when that drops. Go on, Will. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. With 70 million release clause, just pay that and sell our players. But like, what was I saying? Yeah, I'd say just test Marinakis' resolve. Offer him Sarr and Berghvall plus 20 million. See what happens.
I don't think the Sarr bit would work on there. I don't think the Sarr bit would. Berghvall and maybe 50, 60 million, I could see that happening, but I don't see why any team would particularly want Sarr unless it's a team that's just been promoted.
Yeah, Coventry maybe would come in for a Sarr, something like that. You know, I think he's a sort of person that would be really useful to a team that's expecting to be under the cosh. Like Pape Sarr on the ball is terrible, off the ball is pretty good, and so you're probably better off forging a career at a team that's going to be under the cosh and not possession based most of the time, right? And so a promoted team, whether that's Coventry or someone else, would probably be a good fit. Hull, yeah, exactly.
Morgan Gibbs White with a release clause. Haven't we been here before? It's like,
yeah, exactly. Apparently, we're aware. Apparently, it's in the public domain now. This release clause. So
yeah, but hang on a second. Like the last time, I'm not sure it was the same people doing the negotiations or not necessarily negotiating.
What? I mean, let's
your chairman. Your chairman.
Mate, Stell's been coming after me. Stell's coming after me with multiple posts on his website, on his channel, going, Butler, you're chairman. When are you going to apologise? And I'm like, listen, bro, listen. First of all, I spoke to him last night and said, I'll debate you whenever you want on this one because it's a slam dunk for me. Not just because the story's easy to defend, but also because, bro, you rooted for our relegation. Like,
yeah, literally.
You're done out here, man, in the nicest possible way. I like the guy, but you're done out here, bro.
Absolutely.
And he's just given up his season ticket, the donut. Tel gave up his season. I mean, he's moved abroad now. Just when it looks like we might start being.
He still had it. He still got it, right? He's still got it. It just.
No, he sold. He gave it up. He gave it up. But that's fine.
He's not over here anyway, is he? He's not living here.
Forget about the season ticket thing. But you can't come after me when you rooted for our relegation and the fact that we stayed up. Now our owners are starting to put money in. Same owners, by the way. You can't come after me when all I did was defend the guy who put us in the position where we can do what we're doing now, when you actually literally wanted and wished for and willed for our demise. Like, it's like, what are we doing still?
He's gonna come at you with the caveat, though, isn't he? He's gonna come at you that the caveat was because that was the only way he could see this ownership changing.
Yeah, and Johnny was right. Johnny was bang on the money when he said a near fatal car crash.
Yep.
Is exactly what we need, where you have the wake-up call of, holy shit, look what could have happened, right? Rather than it actually happening. Because had we gone down, we wouldn't be talking about Tonali's, we wouldn't be talking about Fernandez's and Krupi Juniors, we'd be talking about, like, Chris Wood, all those sorts of players, right? It would have been absolutely catastrophic. Anyway, let's get back to the forward line. Who do you guys want as the left winger? Because I think it's crucially important. I saw Adrian in the chat a minute ago. Big up to you, Adrian. Hope you're well, bro. Saying we're not going after an attacking midfielder. I think Tottenham should be looking at 3 players: a left winger, a striker, obviously, and then also a 10/right winger, just in case Kulusevski's finished, just in case there's more problems with Kudus' injury. Odebear's out for the majority of next season, or at least 3/4 of it. So it would be smart to bring someone like a Morgan Gibbs White in who can play in the 10 because we haven't got any Xavi. We don't know what's going to happen with James Maddison. He's here 1 minute, out the next. And so for me, I don't really rate Conor Gallagher as good enough to be in the 10 in a De Zerbi system. So for me, bringing in a Morgan Gibbs White or a player like that, an Akliouche or whatever, that can hang off the right and play in the 10. It's not as big a priority as a left winger and a striker, but it is on the list. So for me, there's 3 positions that Tottenham need to fill. Lots of players need to go, but there's 3 positions need to fill. But I want to ask you guys, where do you see the left wing search starting? Let me come to you, Danny Kiriakou. What's your thoughts, mate?
Who I would like to bring in, I would love to see Nusa from Norway. For me, he is my number one. If we were going to pay money for someone, it would be him. He just, even in the World Cup, I mean, I've seen a little bit of him before anyway, and he just looks like he's getting better and better. And he looks very composed in front of goal as well. And his dribbling ability is second to none. Very technical player. I think Nusa's got everything you want in a modern day winger. That's who I would go for the number 1 target. I have a feeling they are going to go for Savio. I do think they're going to bring him in. But I've also got the feeling that they're going to bring another winger in. I think they're going to bring 2. And I think one of the wingers will be someone who can play across that front 3, right? Yildiz is the dreamland, but that's never happening.
This is my boy.
Yeah, or it could it could be about what's his name, Baturina from
He's quality, by the way, from Croatia.
Yeah, the Croatian player. He it could be him as well. There is a bit of rumors about him. Look, for me, it would be one of those players. Striker. I'm going to say this because I'm going to leave in a sec. Striker, it would be for me, Krupi or Marmoush, either one of them. Look, Gibbs White, I don't think we're going to get personally. I'd love to see it. I don't think we're going to get him. I'm with you, Hayden, on that. But I think we're going to get 3 attackers in this window. I really believe that because I think a few are going to go out.
More, yeah?
I think Richalison will go out.
Left winger striker and a versatile 10.
Yes. Oh no, it'll be like a versatile 10 winger. So someone who could also play left, right, or as a 10.
Yeah, I love
right?
that. Love
a right wing / 10 hybrid.
Yeah, or like it might be a Savio and a Gakpo, because Gakpo is kind of that versatile player, and then like a Marmoush or a Krupi, who knows? But in an ideal world, I would go for Nusa, Savio, and I would go for Krupi. That would be my shouts.
Nusa. What's the paper? Anybody got a problem with Nusa?
Injuries.
Yeah.
The only thing.
Is he actually injury prone?
Very.
Is he still injury prone? Has he still got that problem with his back?
Yeah, and obviously our medical team are like 8 Mr. Blobbies, so I don't really trust them. Do you know what I mean?
Jasper getting so much love in the chat. I love it. Hugo's I'm going for a wee or a poo or whatever he's doing. He puts the camera on, puts the camera off. He fucks off. And then Jasper's like, now put it on. Put it in the
Just let Jasper speak. He speaks more sense than Hugo.
Yeah, Hugo. See you later, mate.
You can say that again.
See you later. Yeah, see you later, Hugo. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Bug off.
So I've seen a little bit of Nusa is too young. I'm sorry, Adrian. You've been going on about Savio, mate. You can't go on about Savio and then say Nusa is too young. But I think we as Spurs fans need to get off this too young thing, right? And this is me. I spent about 4 months on with Sava going on about something similar. It's not the age, it's the experience. And Nusa has experience. Not only does just like he has just like Fernandez, right? They've both got bags of experience, but more than that, both of them have had life experiences which they've had to overcome. Nusa has moved a couple of times, hasn't he? And he's now found his feet at Leipzig. The guy has had hardships and he's overcome them, and that's just the sort of player you want in your squad.
I disagree with the young thing. I've had enough. I want more teachers at Spurs and less students. Now, I agree with what you say to the point of experience in that. But if we go back in a bit of history with Spurs, what cost us that game against Chelsea that cost us the league, basically? It wasn't that the players didn't have any experience. It was that a lot of the players were too young and weren't mentally ripe for the situation.
It was mental age, yeah.
So, yes. So at 21, I'm sorry, you are not going to have
maturity.
Yeah, you're not going to have the mental capability of someone who's 25, 26, 27 in that sort of experience. In general, I can go for there, yeah? So, okay, we've got another 21-year-old player. Okay, fine. He's good, looks the part and everything. But I now want to go for more Tonalis. I now want to go for men, not upcoming young students as such. I want teachers on that pitch now. I want people that are 25, 26, getting to their peak or in their peak. Not buying someone who's 21 because they're looking good at the moment and the potential of becoming world class. I want people that talk now, not people that have to still learn a lot. So in that aspect, I don't want any more 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I want 25.
The problem with what you're saying, Dan, is that you're setting a hard line on a KPI age, which actually doesn't mean anything. Will nailed it. It's not about their age per se, but their mental age, their maturity, right? And my point with Nusa is that he's the type of player, he's the type of person who's had to overcome life experience. He's had some kind of he's had to build some character. I absolutely make you right. I'm absolutely 100% with you, mate. What we have lacked as a football club for like 6-7 years is leadership, and hopefully that's what we're bringing in with players like Tonali, with players like Senesi, with players like Van Hecker, and you cannot have enough. I completely agree with you.
It's just we've bought some older players in and whatever. I think leadership is still something you could look at on the pitch and say who's fit for a captain. Would you put Tonali straight away as your captain when he's only just came in? I wouldn't have a problem with it, but would other players have a problem with it? We all know Robertson has definitely got leadership in him, but is he going to start every game? I personally think he's better than what we've already got there, but I think we've tried it long enough with the younger generation as such, and it has nearly got us relegated twice. I think we need to now stick with the more stable players that are ready now. And I get what you're saying in the aspect you can be 21 and have a lot of experience on that pitch, depending where you've played and depending how quality you are. But there aren't many 21-year-olds out there who have got a lot of experience out there over a 25-year-old player.
A lot of maturity,
unless they're a Wayne Rooney or something like that.
Well, I mean that's what Ferguson did with Roy Keane, right? He brought Roy Keane in for his maturity, for his leadership, for him, for the way that he demanded excellence on the pitch from his teammates. And yeah, there aren't many Roy Keanes around, but yeah, absolutely.
I think Gallagher's a good call for a captain as well. I know a lot of people don't like it, but he's another one for me who's got the mentality of what I want a captain. Romero's got certain things about him that I would like in a captain.
Romero's no captain. He's a fucking idiot.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Like a Roy Keane is what I want as my captain. A Gattasso, someone like that. Someone like Tony Adams used to be, or even John Terry. But the difference is with them, they've also got the mentality for the captain. Romero had certain things for it, but he ain't got the mentality for it. I like the captain to be aggressive, physical, get in the player's face, get your act together, have him up against the wall if you have to, talk for the manager. Like captains used to, sort of thing. Maybe call it old school. That's where I didn't rate Son as a captain. Maybe off the pitch, he was a good captain, but on the pitch, he really wasn't. He was too soft for a captain for my personal liking in that aspect. But we have got some players out there that you could say have got leadership qualities about them, whereas we basically had hardly any last season.
Are we purely talking about who's going to be the captain for next season?
Yeah, for me, the obvious captain for next season would have to be James Maddison.
It's Maddison all day long. There's no one else. No one else.
Or Micky van der Ven, because he was sort of giving it last year.
It'd be Maddison, 100%. His age and experience. Yeah.
Is he going to play enough to be a captain?
I bloody hope so.
Yeah, hope so. We don't know. After those two big back-to-back injuries he's had, is he even going to be able to play enough to be a captain? I want my captain on that pitch for 30-odd games.
I want to ask you guys this, right? I want to ask you guys. At the moment, I played this thus far game. I remember it was there was a bloke in the Tottenham community who ended up being a complete donut. He ripped us all off. It took about 800 quid of my own money, the little prick. But Bob Spur, who was around back then, him, me, Soren, and a few others. I think Irish Dave was on there. We played this game called like the Thus Far, and it sort of went sort of micro viral at the time with this argument around how do you judge a window when it's not complete, because the window is you never know how to judge a window even when the window's finished. You have to wait a year really to see whether the players land. But thus far, where is our window at in terms of incomings and outgoings for the time period we have left, the time expiration of value that we have left? Are we at like an 8 out of 10? Are we around there right now? Big up to you, Michael, for joining, by the way. I'll come to you in just a second. This window started out as the best window we have had, certainly in the time I've been doing YouTube, right? There's lots more ways it can be fucked up between now and then, but between now and the end. But it's surely the best window thus far, right? That we've had in recent memory, right?
It's so difficult, Sean, because the way that they're compiling the squad this summer is really weird, isn't it? Because they're literally doing it from the back. They're literally building from defence forwards, and we're all waiting. We're all waiting for the really exciting stuff. And if
the goal scorers,
exactly, if we're getting, I'm thrilled with Van Hecker. I'm delighted with Senesi, right? I'm absolutely over the moon with Fernandes, and I think Tonali is going to be a fantastic addition. We haven't got to the forwards yet. I need the forwards. I need to see what the forwards are because we need to score goals. So I don't know.
We've done it the easy way, which is the right way to do it. I think building a team from the back is the right way to do it, personally. You've got to have a solid defence. Personally, I would want a different goalkeeper, but that's not going to happen. We've done it the easy way. Defenders out there, plenty of them. Left backs, right backs, plenty of them. Centre mids, plenty of them. As soon as we go into up front, this is where it gets hard, for the reason being there's about 3 world-class strikers out there, and then in between there's maybe 1 or 2 very good ones, and then the rest of them are all going to be a hit and miss. They're all going to be taking a chance because none of them are particularly special or stand out or barely good. That is going to be the hardest bit to do. I mean, would anyone be surprised if we go and get a left winger or an inside forward in there who can score a couple? This is where I have questions with Savinho because he doesn't really score the goals. Are we even going to go and get a striker?
Well, I think we are, Dan, right? You have to also give a little bit of credit here. The strategy for me, I think someone should put it in the chat here. Return to normal. Big up to you, because you can't convince the striker to come to you proven intent. All right, there, Michael. You're incredibly noisy, mate. With that.
Sorry. Yeah, I have a mini fridge next to my desk, and I just pulled that in.
Nice.
Sorry.
I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in just a second. I just want to give Dan the chance to answer the question I'm about to ask him, and then I'll bring you in your overall take. But Dan, the point on that message is like you can't convince the big boys to come until you've proven intent. I think it's a really salient point. That maybe Tottenham have gone about this window in the right way, not just from the back. Like I think Hayden said, then just you start from the back, or was it Rain? I'm not sure who said it first, but Rain, was it? It was a good point, right? But just more than that, getting Senesi done for a free transfer that started a couple of months ago, that's a real signal of quality coming into the football club. But it's not a sign of intent because it's a freebie. Robertson, not a sign of intent, but a sign of change. Good, right? Dubravka, you bring in on the fourth number. You get Van Hecker, where you start to put the money out there. Then you go and get Fernandes, who's the sort of lesser of the big names of the 2 in the midfield. Once you've done that, not only are you fixing from the back, you're also proving the point against a qualitative argument around where is the intent when it comes to the big boys at the end. Because you go, look what we've done. Whereas if you go to Krupi or Omar Mamouche or whoever it is going to be, you go to him first, and then you go, do you want to come to Tottenham? And they haven't seen what else you're doing. I think that's a more difficult sales pitch. Whereas now you've got Tonali, you've got Fernandes, you've got Van Hecker, you've got Senesi, 4 of the best Premier League players outside of the top 6 last season. And you've got Robertson, who's a monster of it within the top 6. And you've got a backup goalkeeper, whatever, forget about him. But generally speaking, the story is sound. The story is profound. Also, you haven't been gazumped by anybody. You're showing and demonstrating intent. Now you go to the next level. Now you go to the winger that you want. Now you go to the striker and you go, look what we've done. And this is just the fucking start. And I think it's easier to convince a big name striker. It might even be, I'm not suggesting it, but it might even be easier to go to someone of the world of like an Osimhen and go.
That is where I would want us to go. I think we've done it the right way. I would build a team from the back personally, from the defence anyway. But I think we have done it the easiest way because they are the easiest players to get. When it comes to strikers, it's like when people tell me about Vlahovic. Yeah, go and check his stats out. He's no better than bloody Richie or bloody Slanky over the past 2 years. People who tell me that obviously only follow the Premier League, and it does bloody show. Go and actually check up some of the stats. Gimenez, yes, brilliant player. 1 goal last season. Great, yeah? He was good before he went AC Milan. Again, you can tell someone doesn't watch another league. And then when people talk about, but we've got Lancashire, we've got Parrott and everything. Yes, does anyone want to take the risk with that as well? A striker is going to be very, very hard. Going to be the hardest one for us to get. If we can get Osimhen, I think out there of the quality strikers, he's probably the one we could look at and have a possibility of getting if his wages aren't that stupid, which I think he's on something like 350 in Turkey or something like that.
It's tax free for him, so like it's the in order to earn that in the UK, in order to not lose money to come back to the Prem or to come to the Prem, you'd have to be paying him 450 grand.
It's like Ivan Toney. Yeah, how long's he been out of big football? Basically, he's been playing in bloody Saudi Arabia and that.
Funnily enough, though, Dan,
there a few and far between is what I'm saying. It's going to be the hardest.
I agree with you, but Ivan Toney, there's that whole tax payback thing that he'd have to do if he left Saudi. That thing apparently finishes at the end of August. So
taking Tony,
he hasn't played in top football for nearly 2 seasons. Would he actually be able to come back and just roll back into the Premier League after doing Saudi for 2 years?
Yeah, but who else is on the market?
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking the question. I'm not saying I don't want a new bloody striker. Of course I do. Get rid of the fucking pair of them. I think they're both awful. But it's going to be the hardest one to reply, isn't it? To get basically. So if we can go and get ourselves at least a left winger, an inside forward as such, is more what we want than an actual winger who can score goals. It's going to be easier than going from the striker. So I think we've started from the easiest bit, sort the defence out, because there's plenty of good defenders out there, and left backs and right backs. Centre mids, plenty out there to go and look for. Personally, one I wish we would have gone for is Manu Kone. Go over to Italy. You can throw the money about because Italy is broke. Even Juventus are having to throw their best players out because they can't afford the bloody wages. There's plenty of players out there. But then when we start going into the goal scoring bit, this is where it starts getting really messy. This is where it starts getting like, where do you actually go? Because there's just lack of strikers out there.
Yeah,
it's probably the worst it's ever been in football for strikers. If you go back 20, there was loads of strikers and there was actually a bit of a fight for defenders at one point. Now it's the total opposite way round because everyone only plays with one striker, basically, don't they? So where do we go? Osimhen would be my first choice. But all the others that people have named, does Gakpo go out and go and score you 15, 20 goals a season? No. Gimenez, check his stats. Tony, no. Vlahovic, he's been pretty terrible over the past 2 years. Go for it. And then people say we should give Lancashire or Parrott a go up front. You might as well stick with Solanke or bloody Richie in that case. It's going to be the hardest job to do.
Yeah, I think for me, if you can get a striker that can cover left wing and you can get a left winger that covers striker, if it's not working in any sort of way, like for me, the perfect two that are probably, I mean, it might be a bit of a dream world that we're thinking that we can get them, but if you can go and get Marmoush as your striker who can cover left wing, and you go and get and you go and get Rashford who's your left winger who can cover striker, I think them two would be absolutely perfect. But I don't think they're that attainable. I think I was sort of banging the drum quite early about Gakpo, but I think the more that I've sort of delved into him as a player, I think he sort of needs to be the main man wherever he plays, and I don't think at Tottenham he would necessarily be that. Considering the other players that we're signing, it seems like we're going on a bit of a madness.
I wouldn't say no to him because he's no worse than what we got, isn't it? He's a lot better than what we do have there as such, isn't it?
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't say no to him, but I don't think he takes us to the level that we need to be. I don't think he's enough of an upgrade to think that we're done there. I think he'd be like a stopgap, which at his age and his price, I don't think you're looking for stopgaps, are you? You're looking for like players that are going to make players.
His stats do look like everyone who's got that take. I had that take as well until I went into his stats.
Yeah, I'm not quite. Yeah, so I feel like for me, the number one player that can play up front and cover left wing is Marmoush. For me, that would be absolutely insane.
You know what?
But
go
today as well.
We'll bring in Michael before you come back in, mate. Sorry. Hayden, finish your point. I just wanted. I could see Dan was going to come back in there, but I want to bring Michael.
Sorry, I just think like Rashford, I think is probably a little bit. It's tricky because I think in the right team and the right system, he can be very good, but I would just struggle a little bit about how like hot and cold he can be. But if you want someone that covers left wing and striker, this is the thing. The market's so bleak at the moment. I don't really know who else you might be able to go and get. So I don't know. You either go all out and get a really, really solid left winger that can only play left wing and a striker that can only play striker. But I feel like with, I don't know, the way that we're sort of setting up and the way that we're going about business, I feel like maybe you need someone that can sort of do a little bit of both. So for me, Marmoush is my number one by...
Don't get me Marmoush and Croupy Jr. And we are cooking with gas.
Yeah, but that's like another 180 million, mate.
I don't give a fuck anymore. I ain't give a fuck. Every time I bring up the money thing, all I get in the comments is, why do you care, Butler? You're defending Levy again. No, I'm not. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just all join the ludicrous race. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care anymore. Let's just spend it and see what happens.
I think after we sell Romero, Sarr, Vicario, and Richalison, even the money we've spent, I still think we've got about 200 left.
Well, we shall see. We shall see.
We've probably got about 100 left now.
What's been proven so far this summer is that Daniel Levy might have been a terrible negotiator in as much as dragging things out and wanting to win every battle and all that stuff. But as far as I can tell from whoever it is that's negotiating the deals that we're doing this summer, we are not winning any of them. We are paying what these people want. And so when it comes to on the outgoing side, if that trend continues and we sell people like Vicario for 5 million or Romero for 25 million, then it's not particularly good news that we've gone from out of the frying pan to a different type of fire. Michael, let me bring you in, mate. I know. Well, sorry, you've been patiently waiting, mate.
No worries.
How are you? And first of all, how excited are you about what we're doing here? And then we're going to carry on the conversation.
Wait, how am I? Great, because it's finally a bit colder here in Poland. It's not fucking 40 degrees, so you know I managed to survive right now. Right. Second of all, I'm married finally, so officially I have my missus.
Commiserations.
Or commiserations. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but listen. We are here to talk about Spurs, right? I honestly, I am so shocked. I never thought I would live a day to see us buy £100 million player, and it happened now, and it almost happened yesterday because we spent 85, right? It's honestly, it's a dream. I left a comment on one of our Polish fans group chats, right? That finally this club is acting like it should be, right? This club really wants to be considered big, right? So to be considered big, you need to act big, right? And those two signings, for me, they just point to me that, listen, we are actually starting to act like we should, right? Yeah.
Is there any chance you can turn your mic down a little bit? I think it's excessively loud versus everybody else.
Sorry.
That's all right. Do you know how to do that? I might be able to turn you down locally.
How is it now?
That's perfect. Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
Yeah. Sorry, it was maxed out for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, right? I think finally we are acting like a big club, and I am here for it. I love to see it. I am so excited to see whatever the next few weeks bring, right? Because apparently this whole, I don't know how to pronounce the ITK's name, Sizzy or whatever, right? He apparently said that we are going to sign more, right? So listen, bring it on. I'm all for it, right? And listen, with the quality of the players we've been signing, right? Because I know we are talking about Fernandes and Tonali, right? Van Hecke and Senesi are quality signings, right? Some of the best center backs in the league outside of top 6, right? And even you could make an argument that they are better than some of the top 6 center backs, right? And now we improve with Fernandes and Tonali. Bring me forwards, right? We spoke with Dan today. Unfortunately, the forward market isn't the best. But if we are willing to spend big money, right? Give me Marmoush. I am all for it. I want Marmoush, right? I think he's a wicked player. And I think he would really love to come to a place where he can be a starter again, right? Because at Frankfurt, he was the main man with Ekitike. And at City, he will always be a second choice after Haaland, right? Or play not in his natural position. Whereas I think we can guarantee him first team football and pretty much starting every single day, right? Bring him in. I'm all for it, right? I as I said, I love what I'm seeing right now. Sean?
It's just up front, we need the goals. No two ways about it. It's just like me and you spoke about it earlier, Mike, didn't we? And it is just going to be the hardest position to fill up. That is why I have asked the question. I know a lot of people don't agree with it. I think pretty much unless we do go and get an Oshman or someone like that, practically any striker we get is a bit of a gamble, basically, and it's not going to be cheap either. And we're going to be lucky if we can find one that hits 15 goals in a season as such. That would be better than what we've got. I mean, Solanke's done it, once in his career, basically. Yeah. That is why I'm thinking, is that the one? Go on.
Yeah, Premier League is a bit of a strange case, because if you look at like top goal scorers chart, right? Unless it was Kane, Haaland, or Salah, or like Isaac and maybe like Tony 1 or 2 seasons, hardly any strikers get more than 20, right? You can even look at last season. It was Haaland, and I think next was Igor Thiago on 22, and after that it was lower than 20.
If we had one that could get 12, it would be good, Mike. Compared to last season.
My point is, right, if you actually find a striker that will get you like 18 goals, that's good, right? That's not like world beater type of stuff, right? But that's good. That's what you want, right? Assuming the rest of the team also scores goals, right? Because our issue was that our wingers didn't score goals, our number 10s didn't score goals, and our strikers only if they fucking fancied it won in 5 games, right? And we had
players that we had who were scoring goals were out for most of the Maddison, Kulusevski. You know, all of these goals went out of our team last season
in one hit. Basically,
yeah, pretty much in one.
Absolutely. I mean, this is why. Okay, so we did a fantastic thing last summer, right? We did a fantastic thing. We had a problem at defensive midfield, and we weren't sure who we were going to go and get, and we just went and got Paulinho for a year. Yeah, stepped in, did the job. Thank you very much. I'd quite like to still have him in the squad. You know, maybe not starting, but you know, ready to come on if we need him or if injured. But at least last year we went and we filled that hole with a 1-year option who was going to do the job. I don't know if there's anybody out there who can do it, but that's why I'm looking at Tony at the end of the year, because I'm looking around, and apart from Marmoush, which I would absolutely love. Up top, what is out there? It's really, really, really dry. So I don't know where they're going. And I can't, as a Spurs fan, I can't really think that we're going to go and get Cooper Jr. I just, can you imagine, Hayden?
I've got a feeling though, Rain. I've got a feeling that Tottenham are going to surprise us to the upside. Krupi Jr., insane. Marmoush, insane. Right, you go and get me Undav from Germany. Also, really clever player that I think would suit the Premier League. I don't even care if it's Serhu Guirassy. He's 31, so I can't imagine we're going to do that now. But, what is he, 30 years old?
Yeah, he's 31, yeah.
I think Tottenham are going to sign us a Ratatatar striker as well.
I think a good shout is: are we going to sign a player who's not Prem proven? Because currently it's just like Prem proven, and the other
one, every single one, right? 6
absolutely,
all of them from the Premier League. Yeah.
But Sean, you made me laugh internally when you said, you know, the person who's negotiating, they're not winning like Daniel Levy, but they are winning like they're doing eBay auctions.
No,
I've won another one. I've won another one.
They are winning our hearts.
No,
they are winning our hearts.
What I meant is Daniel Levy doesn't win transfers. He doesn't, right? But he thinks he does. And that's part of his fallback, is that he has to feel like everything is a battle and zero-sum game, all this bullshit, right? Like, you know, chaos.
He wins the ego. He wins the ego battle, is what you're saying.
It's held us back. my point is that the other side of the argument, the entire opposite, I feel like is happening right now, where we're not winning any negotiations, but we're winning the transfer. But that's fine. But are we going to see Tottenham getting good money for players on the way out? Are we going to see we haven't seen any sales really, right? I mean, Vuskovic, you could make an argument. People could make the argument it's good value, 50 million quid because he's unproven, hasn't played a game for us, whatever, cost us 10 million. So you can make that argument, or you could make the argument we've sold, a generational talent to a team that knows generational talents when they see them, and they've paid a lot of money for him, but they haven't, they might be able to sell him in a year's time to Barcelona and double their money, right? Or whatever. My point is, if Tottenham Hotspur are going into negotiations at the moment with just this kind of pay the money attitude that fans want, but fans don't know how, what they're talking about when it comes to finance, right? And that sort of level, which it's all emotional stuff rather than using your heart versus your head. If Tottenham end up selling Romero for 25 million quid to Atletico Madrid, if we end up selling Sarr for 7 million, if we end up selling, Vicario for 8 million quid to Juventus, then it's not a demonstration of clever. That's not a demonstration of clever economics either. Tottenham fans won't care. It will come back to bite us. We're overpaying on the purchases and we're under receiving on the sales. That's a problem. And that's what I'm worried about.
Sean, the one sale we did,
whether it's Mawson, whether it's Vinay, whether it's Lang, whoever it is that is doing these deals, it doesn't feel like it's particularly savvy business. It's good transfers. We're getting good players into our club, but is it savvy? Is it well negotiated? Is it have we got any examples there where we've done good business? I'm not sure we have.
Yeah, but isn't it looking for negatives, for a lack of a better word, right? But I listen, one sale that we did this season, which is Vuskovic, I actually think that's a wicked deal. We got from 35 million to 50, and on top of 50, we have a 20% sell-on clause and matching rights, right? So for me, listen, I know people are vexed that we sold him, right? Me personally, I don't mind. I think it works well for all parties, right? We are happy that we got 50 million. He's happy that he will get game time. We have the sell-on clause and the matching rights, and we got 5 times profit on what we paid 2 years ago for a guy that hasn't played a minute for us, right?
Sure.
So,
but everybody, but in this season, everybody was. How many times did we see Plettenberg come out and say, Bayern Munich want him, Barcelona want him, everybody in German football is looking at this guy, Leipzig want him. He's gone to Brighton. Brighton don't overpay for players. Oh, yeah, listen, whatever you want to think about the price on that one is fine. However you want to you can easily make a strong argument or a bad argument, either way. I'm just saying, are we giving our props and taking our hat off to our team for making good decisions? Yes, but are they paying the right prices? And are we going to, if we receive shitty money for our players that we don't need, then how much credit do you give to the negotiating team for just accepting what someone offers and paying what someone asks? That's not how. That's not the sign of a good chairman or a good.
I get.
You know what I mean?
Get your point where you're going, but I think the situation we're in at the moment, everybody knows out there Spurs has got money in its back pocket. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows we are desperate. Maybe not so desperate now that we've got a couple of players, but we was desperate to get players in there. So anyone's going to put the extra 10% on because Spurs have got money, like they used to with Man U, basically. And anyone's going to put another 10% on top of that because they know Spurs are absolutely desperate. Any players that we want to get rid of, not one of them really. I said earlier, there was about 4 players we'd probably get profit on. Like Spence, we'd get profit on. That's only because we got him so bloody cheap. Same as Berghvall, same as Vuskovic, and same as Sarr. Only because we got him cheap. No other player that we have got has justified going for any more than we buy them for. I mean, is some idiot going to come in and pay 65 million for Solanke or Richarlison? That is not going to happen.
We finished 17th twice, Stan.
Exactly. I think we are actually in that position that where people also know we are that desperate to get rid of some of this crap. Well, why do I go and offer him 25 million. When he's that desperate to get rid of him, there you go, 17 million, take it or leave it, mate, because no one else is going to offer any more than that for that someone who's had 2 shit seasons like he has. And I think that's the sort of situation we're in. We're going to be paying 20% extra, just a random number here, because people know we're desperate to get players in. But they're going to be paying 20% less because they know we're desperate to get the crap out at the same time as well. And again, what player in that team has actually justified putting another 25% on top of what we paid for him, basically? About the only one I could think of that you could probably do that with is Van der Ven. Is one that we paid 45 mil for, and we'd get, say, I don't know, 75, 80 mil, just a random number. But nobody else in that team. Romero, why is anyone going to pay 50, 60 mil for him? He's been bang average for about 2-3 seasons and everything else. Why is anyone going to pay significant money for any other players we got? They know we're desperate to get rid of some of the crap, basically. So apart from the younger players we got for cheap, I don't see us making any profit on any single player.
What? The only one of those. The only one of those, Dan, is Berghvall. The only one of those is Berghvall.
Sarr and Vuskovic. They're the 4 we can make money on, basically, and Van der Ven, because we got them so cheap. And Van der Ven is about the only one who's justified putting money on top of what we spent. No other player on there has actually justified adding money to what we paid for. Solanke, no. Richalison, no. Maddison, do you even know he's going to last more than 15 games? Kulusevski, is he ever going to bloody play football again? Porro, no. One of the worst defensive we got. If we just play him as a bloody wing back and actually what he can do, it'd be a lot better. But, you know, Archie Gray, what? Is someone going to pay 40 million for him after he's like bang average 2 seasons for us? No. It's going to be very hard to get any money back. Plus, people know we want to clear out. So on a business side, they're not going to offer the money that we want, are they?
Yeah, I don't think it's always about turning a profit. Like, I think when you've got Richarlison that you paid 60 million quid for, and he's on his second contract, or if it's his first contract, whatever it is. But like, he's been amortized down to basically 5 million quid on the book. So if you can sell him for 20, it's kind of a technical. It's like a technical profit, if that makes sense. Even though you're not going to sell him at this stage for more money than you paid for him. Anyway, listen, guys, we've been going for a long time. Final thoughts from everyone. Michael, I'll let you go first on this one, then Rain, and then we'll go around the houses. What's the next? What's going to happen? Are we now going to go through a little bit of a lull? Is there going to be not very much that's going to happen? Because we're a little bit spoilt this week, aren't we? Like two bombers, 2 record transfers. How many days until the next story heats up? Can I go on holiday for a week and not have to worry about missing out on any kind of bombers? Here we goes, you know? Because what happens when I go live, bombers drop, and I want to have a little bit of a breather if I can, but I don't think I can. What are you saying, Michael? What's the next stage in the Tottenham transfer window?
Yeah, listen. I was listening to We Are Tottenham TV today for a bit, right? And the boys were also going like, yeah, get us Osimhen, get us fucking Marmoush. Let's go for Alvarez. I bet you we can buy Alvarez and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to say pipe down, right? We are all allowed to dream. But realistically, I don't think we are spending more than like 100 to 150 million, assuming the sales, right? I think we'll buy like a 60 to 70 million pound player, maybe another like 40 to 51, and probably one cheaper guy, right? That's how I feel, at least. But I think there will be a bit of a break unless Savinho happens, right? I think Savinho is the only one where we could expect a quick turnaround of events, right? But am I thrilled about Savinho? Not really. I've always maintained the stance that I would only be happy with Savinho if you got a goal-scoring machine up front, right? But there aren't many of them, which is what we established. So I would rather us go for a goal-scoring winger next as a priority. I have a couple of guys that I would like to see, but whether they will happen, that's a different thing. But yeah, Sean, listen, I think you are safe for at least a few days. Because I don't think anything will happen until the end of this week. But next week, maybe. Yeah, but as you said, we are spoiled right now. So
I think it's a couple. I think we can allow the Tottenham hierarchy to have a couple of days breather. They've worked bloody hard this week, and fair play to them. Rain, let me come to you, mate. Big up to you, Michael. So I know you didn't get much. We've been going for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but appreciate you coming on, mate, and congratulations on the wedding. Raino, are we going to allow the Tottenham hierarchy to take a couple of days off, or are we going to move straight into where's my next bomber? I want bombers.
I think it's good. So something that slid under the radar, nobody's interested. Luka Gunter went on loan. So this is goalkeeper, 21-year-old goalkeeper, in case anyone in chat or even on the panel, I presume on the panel, but anyone in chat doesn't know. So Luka Gunter, 21-year-old goalkeeper, went on loan today to Boreham Wood, I think.
Yeah, Boreham Wood. Yeah.
And I think that's what we'll get over the next couple of weeks. So in the next couple of weeks, it will be cleaning up all of the little messy bits. So
loan moves,
loan moves. Yeah, getting. Don't please, no more loans for Dane Scarlett. Just get rid of the kid.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the guy. Just realise whatever money we can get for him, however many thousands of pounds that is, and just accept it, right? And it just cleaning all that up, and whilst they're working out who they're going to go for up top, or there are negotiations in the background. But I suspect what we'll get over the next week or so is cleaning that crap up.
Yeah, I agree. Danny boy, thanks for coming on, mate. I haven't seen you for ages, bro. You look healthy and well, mate. I hope you're okay. Same question to you. What's next?
Just been very busy lately rebuilding the house where I got a bloody kid on the way, so I had to restructure the place as such.
Hey, congrats, mate.
Going to be a little boy. Question is, do I make him a Spurs supporter or not, and have social services kick my doors in for putting him through the pain? But that'd be a different story.
Yes, you bloody do, mate, because your dad did it to you. All right, just keep it in the family. That's what we do here.
You know what? With the window so far, I think like everyone else, I'm happy as a pig in shit in that aspect. I think we've now got to basically focus on getting some of the crap out now, and then go back to focusing on the next part we've got to go to of getting goal scorers in there, basically. But so far, so bloody good. I mean, if anyone would have give you this window, basically, and this would have been our actual window, yeah, I think people would have moaned that we didn't get a striker, but I don't think anyone would be particularly upset with it. If you would have said to me, Tonali, at the start, I would have laughed at you and said, that's a player I'd love.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen at Spurs. You can't be nothing but happy with what we've done, but there is more work to do. I think we've got to now do a bit of a clear out before we bring some more in. But if they want to go and bring the players in first, go for gold. I'm a happy man either way. I think we've had a brilliant window so far.
Yeah, I'm not going to be impatient and expect another bomber tomorrow.
Exactly.
If it comes, great. But I expect I'm with Rain, I think, and Michael. I feel like it's a bit of maybe a time to pause and get some players out the door, get some young players, new homes or whatever else. Hayden, big up to you, mate. Thanks for coming on. I know you had a big night planned with the boys, and they all pissed off, didn't they, after the England game? But you came back on and shared your time with us, mate. Great to see you, buddy. What's next for you? But sorry, before I say that, Dan, sorry, I didn't say it publicly. Congratulations on your new child. Mate, best of luck with that. Best wishes to the missus. Hayden, what's next in your mind, mate? Do you see another player coming in, or do you see a little bit of like some outgoings next up?
Yeah, I think we probably will start trying to shift a few players. Just for context, I introduced Phil to my mate Liam earlier, and they're still out on the beers, so they're having a good time tonight. They've gone to an Irish bar.
Who?
Phil P.
Phil P.
Oh,
yeah, Phil P was with us earlier. Billy left at full time. I left about half an hour later. And then my mate Liam, who was with me and Phil, they've just gone off on a little night out.
The two of them, they didn't know each other before tonight. Now they're still out together.
They didn't know each other before tonight.
Fucking love that. That's amazing.
They're in an Irish bar just down the road from me. But
Irish bars are dangerous, mate. Irish bars can be very dangerous if you don't know the right people.
I'd love to be there, but I've got to be in the office tomorrow, so I need to be a bit sensible. But Yeah, I think we will start seeing a bit of a clear out. The Romero thing for me is just a bit baffling, to be honest. I don't think he's going to go to an elite club. I think Atletico is probably the most likely.
Yeah, same. He'll go there for cheap.
Yeah. Sarr could go to like a Brentford. I know he was linked before, and then I think Vicario will go back to Italy, and then Richalison. Richalison for me is an absolute. I have no idea where he's going to end up, but I think we need to get rid of. I feel like them four are probably the next, or the ones that are definitely going to go. Berghvall probably, Gray keep, or a loan. I don't know. There's a lot of players at the moment, so I feel like we do need to do a bit of work. But I don't know. It seems like it's a bit of a new Tottenham, doesn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple of a few bombers over the next few weeks. But the World Cup's gonna wrap up in the next few weeks. Some of the big
is Krupi at the World Cup?
No. Some of the big
everybody that Tottenham is signed isn't at the World Cup. It's also interesting. Yeah. All prem proven, all non-World Cup players.
Yeah. Van Hecker, apart from Van Hecker.
Oh, he's now back, isn't he? So
yeah.
So he isn't there anymore. So that's also good news. Van der Ven and Van Heck are going to be back for the start of the season. They'll get their 2-3 week break before pre-season starts. So Netherlands going out is a massive bonus for us. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a left wing bomber in the next few days. I think that could definitely happen. Striker, I think, is much more difficult, but I think Savinio could well be wrapped up already, and it's a case of just confirming.
Yeah,
it.
you know what? I feel like we've really stepped up our game this summer, and I feel like Savinio was almost like a last. It was like Tottenham Mark 1. This is Tottenham Mark 2. I feel like Savinio is a little bit of a step back to me, but anyway, we'll talk about that in the future. Yeah. Let's wrap up. We've been going for 2.5 hours. I want to say a massive thank you. I've got some super chats I've got to do. Before I do that, just quickly, Dan's channel, Hotspur Hood, is right there. Dan, you're still doing content this summer, are you?
Yeah, sooner or later I'll be doing a bit more. Done a couple on the past couple of days, and now I've got a bit more time. I'll be doing a bit more.
Big up to you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Big up. Wait, stay there 1 second, guys. Let me just do these 4 super chats. We never actually got around to talking about this South Stand Spurs. I think that I will come back to this one tomorrow, mate, but I do appreciate the super chat. Ulrika Ratatata says, my new owners. Listen. Appreciate the celebration. Appreciate the appreciation. Big up to you, Ulrika. Thank you very much. Dean Laws putting in one saying a super sticker. Big up to you, Dean. I appreciate you. Choo to you, mate. Always here, always supporting. And Bourbon Buzzard, my man, in the middle of the mix with the Houses of Parliament. Big up to you. He says our medics still use leeches as a cure-all. Yeah, I think that's another massive thing we need to fix this summer, mate, isn't it? We need to make sure that whole medical team is on the upside there. And big up to Desto as well, member for 20 months. Big up to you, Destiny. Great to see you, mate. He says, let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Big up to you. We are going to go. We're going to leave it here. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. You might even see a late night video, but I don't think so tonight. I think I'm going to get back to work. I love you all. Please, guys, don't forget the SpursHub.co.uk. There's 800 people here still watching. If you haven't already signed up to it, it's your fan stop, right? One-stop fan shop. It only works if there's a huge audience. We're up to about 1,700 members now. It's only been live a month. It's a really cool place. Loads of different, like countless features. So please do sign up to the Spurs Hub. It's free for everybody. Love you all, and I'll see you guys. Michael, thank you. Hayden, thank you. Danny, thank you. Rain, thank you very much. And to all the people that were on earlier, Danny Kiriakou, Kate, Jimbo, Will, Hugo, Jasper, not sure who else I'm forgetting. Am I forgetting anybody else? I don't think so.
Eugene,
Adam Cahill and Eugene. Yeah, big up to you all. Thanks so much for coming on, guys. Love you all. We'll leave it there. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you tomorrow. Tottenham are back, baby. Come on, you Spurs.